Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Gao Wu. After being expelled from the family, he awakened the holy body of chaos. Chapter 41. As an imperial clan, even though we have declined, our heritage is still not comparable to those of ordinary clans. Zhang Haoyan continued. Among the legacies of our Zhang family's ancestors, there is a method that can be used to empower people with supernatural powers. This method is to select the most talented person in the family when the family rises in the future, and infuse them with superpowers to raise the superpowers to one level, or even 2 levels, above the original level. Your superpower is the SS level Archangel Sword. After superpower initiation, you can at least reach the SSS level, and it is even possible to reach the SSSS level. What? Zhang Ting was stunned. Maybe even an SSSS level superpower. Isn't the highest level of superpower in the world SSS level? Could it be that this is the power of the Imperial clan? Can it surpass SSS level? If you really reach the SSSS level, you can definitely trample Zhang Ling under your feet. Ha ha ha. Zhang Ting couldn't help but feel extremely happy when he thought of this. So what if you have high talent? An illegitimate child is an illegitimate child after all. The family inheritance must still be given to me. Ting'er, after today's initiation for you, you must work harder and shoulder the heavy responsibility of revitalizing the Zhang family. Zhang Wei also said to Zhang Ting. I know, Grandpa. Zhang Ting's eyes were firm. I will definitely make the Zhang family return to its peak in my hands. I want the whole of Daxia to know that I am the heir to the Zhang family. Ha ha, good. Zhang Wei nodded when he saw Zhang Ting looking so ambitious. Then get ready now, we will start the initiation ceremony for you. Good. Under the guidance of Zhang Haoyan, Zhang Ting came to the ancestral hall and knelt down in front of the memorial tablet, his eyes full of perseverance. Zhang Ling, now I see how arrogant you were in front of me. I will defeat you with my own hands and let you know that an illegitimate child is an illegitimate child and I am the heir to the Zhang family. I will become the strongest in Daxia in the future. Zhang Haoyan took out a piece of ancient jade and placed it on Zhang Ting's head, telling him not to move. Then, Zhang Wei and the elders began to use their powers to guide the tablets in the ancestral hall. These tablets are all made of jade, crystal clear, and seem to be full of energy. Buzz. Suddenly, there was a soft sound, and all the tablets began to shake slightly, and then, rays of light shot out from the tablets and converged on the top of Zhang Ting's head. A powerful energy began to appear, and Zhang Ting's soul shook violently, as if he was about to leave his body. Sonorous. A huge ancient sword appeared in the sky above the ancestral hall. It was Zhang Ting's superpower, the sword of the Archangel. Countless energies gathered, and the Archangel's sword began to undergo changes. Inscriptions began to appear on the originally simple sword body. This inscription emits a dazzling light that makes people dare not look directly at it. This injection of energy lasted for more than half an hour, and the process was not easy. Zhang Ting felt as if his soul was about to be torn apart, suffering endless pain. However, in order to upgrade his abilities and surpass Zhang Ling, he gritted his teeth and stood firm. Boom! Suddenly, a strong light burst out from the Archangel's sword, piercing the roof of the ancestral hall, shooting straight into the sky, and splitting the clouds in the sky into 2 halves. Drops of drizzle fell from the sky, and every drop was crystal clear and radiant. When the residents of Yucheng saw this scene, they all shouted for a miracle. Zhang Ting in the ancestral hall slowly opened his eyes. He felt the brand new Archangel sword and was extremely ecstatic. The current Archangel sword has definitely reached or even surpassed the SSS level. Ting'er, how do you feel? Zhang Haoyan came over to ask. Very good. Zhang Haoyan held the Archangel sword and said proudly, now I can definitely kill that illegitimate son with one sword. Good. Zhang Haoyan also laughed. Dad, I look at this ancestor's tablet, but there's a big piece missing in the middle. Zhang Ting asked his doubts again at this time. This is a powerful ancestor in our family who took some powerful people from the family to a mysterious secret realm of time and space, but disappeared and did not come back. Zhang Haoyan explained. It was precisely because of their departure that led to the decline of the Zhang family. According to the calculations of the descendants of the Zhang family, they are not dead yet and will return in a certain era. Will the ancestors return? Zhang Ting couldn't help but be shocked. There are many things you don't know about this world. Zhang Haoyan said with his hands behind his hands. Once you fall into the secret realm of time and space, even though it's only one day inside, it may have been 1,000 years outside. Our Zhang family has been waiting for the return of our ancestors. At that time, our Zhang family will return to its peak and become a noble imperial family again. Zhang Ting really got the initiation successfully. In a courtyard of the Zhang family, Zhang Churan looked at the crystal raindrops falling from the sky, with a look of relief on his face. The future rise of our Zhang family depends on him. That Zhang Ling is so rebellious and dares to betray the Zhang family. If he comes to assist Zhang Ting again, it will be even faster for our Zhang family to return to its peak. This traitor, I must let him come back to me. What does he think of the Zhang family? Did he just rebel if he wanted to? Zhang Churan is Zhang Haoyan's third daughter. She is also an SS-level super talent and is also studying at Shanghai University. During this time, she happened to come back to the family for vacation, and found out that Zhang Ling had betrayed the family. She was extremely angry at that time. It is simply intolerable for an illegitimate son to dare to rebel without correcting his attitude and contributing to the family. She turned on her phone, looked at the school forum, and suddenly found a post about Zhang Ling completing the Tiangong step seal. What? Has anyone completed the 36 steps of Tiangong? My name is also Zhang Ling. Is she a new student? Is it the traitor? Is he so talented? Zhang Churan couldn't help but be a little shocked. As a student of Modu University, of course she knew what the Tiangong step seal was. She also walked through it herself, but only took 17 steps. Zhang Ling can walk all the 36 steps of Tiangong, which is really a bit of a monster. Snort. These are not all the talents brought to you by the Zhang family's bloodline. You don't want to repay the Zhang family, but you dare to rebel. It's simply unbearable. You were born as a member of the Zhang family, and you will die as a ghost of the Zhang family. After Zhang Ting's initiation, his talent surpassed the SSS level, and the family also held a banquet to celebrate. At the banquet, everyone congratulated Zhang Ting on his promotion and told him not to be arrogant, to continue working hard and shoulder the important task of reviving the Zhang family. After drinking for 3 rounds, Zhang Wei spoke to Zhang Churan. Chu Ran, when you return to Modu University this time, remember that your first priority is to persuade Zhang Ling to return to the Zhang family. Since he is a bloodline of our Zhang family, he cannot live outside in such a disgraceful manner. It's just a disgrace to my Zhang family. Yes, Grandpa. Zhang Churan nodded. I will definitely let him come back. He is really rebellious. At such a young age, he didn't learn any etiquette or filial piety, but he learned all about being rebellious and arrogant. No education at all. As a sister, I have the obligation to teach him what education is. Zhang Wei nodded. Then I'll leave this matter to you. Zhang Ting sneered at this time and said, if he still refuses to come back, then I will clean up the house myself. Since it is the blood of our Zhang family, if you don't use it for me, you will be killed by me. Now Zhang Ting's confidence in himself has expanded to the extreme. Well said, haha. Zhang Haoyan patted Zhang Ting on the shoulder, feeling extremely pleased. They are both sons, so why is there such a big gap? Modu University. After a month of adapting, Zhang Ling is already very familiar with Shanghai University. School hasn't started yet and there are no classes. Zhang Ling practices in his practice room every day and feels a little bored. So Zhang Ling called Yi Honglian. Sister, what's up? Yi Honglian obviously looked like she had just woken up. School hasn't started yet, so I have nothing to do in school. I want to find a secret place to hunt strange beasts and gain some experience in casting. I wonder if there is a suitable secret place near Modu University. Zhang Ling asked. So you're bored? Yi Honglian yawned. School is about to start. If you go to the secret realm, I'm afraid you won't be able to come back in time. But recently, the team of one of my junior students happened to be going out to deal with an unusual incident. You might as well go with us. It can also add some insights. Oh, what is it? Zhang Ling raised her eyebrows. He also knows that alien beasts or foreign races often sneak out of the secret realm and cause harm to the human world. There are patrol teams composed of superpowers in various places, specifically to deal with such strange beasts or foreign races that come to the human world. In universities, students need to engage in actual combat to gain experience, so major universities will issue some tasks, allowing students to form patrol teams to deal with such abnormal events, and reward them with credits. It seems to be haunted, Yi Honglian said nonchalantly. I don't know the details either, you can just go and take a look. It's just to earn some credits and pocket money. Okay, Zhang Ling agreed. He happened to take a look at how the senior students were doing their tasks. So, Yi Honglian gave Zhang Ling a contact information and asked him to contact him himself. Zhang Ling dialed the number there and heard a nice female voice. You are the new student who passed the 36 steps of Tiangong introduced by Sister Honglian. Originally we don't bring new people, but your performance allows us to give you a try. Gather at the school gate at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Good, Zhang Ling agreed. The next day, Zhang Ling got up early, washed up, had breakfast, and came to the school gate. Not long after, several students who appeared to be senior students came over. The leader was a tall and hot girl wearing a black samurai uniform, with delicate features and a ponytail, looking dashing and heroic. Are you Zhang Ling? The girl came to Zhang Ling, opened her mouth lightly, and looked Zhang Ling up and down. Yes, Zhang Ling nodded. You are the senior Zhao Jinyu introduced by Senior Honglian, right? It's me. Zhao Jinyu nodded and said, what level are you at now? I'm level 14 now, Zhang Ling said. Level 14. Zhao Jinyu was slightly surprised. The freshmen who just registered have reached level 14, not bad. No wonder you can complete the 36 steps of Tiangong. Okay, it's getting late, let's go. Zhao Jinyu drove by himself, and their team, including Zhang Ling, totaled 5 people, which could just fit in the car. Zhao Jinyu's car is a luxury sedan with an official price of more than 10 million. It can be seen that Zhao Jinyu's family is very wealthy. Except for Zhang Ling, the other 3 in the team are all girls, and they are all friends of Zhao Jinyu. On the way, the 3 girls introduced themselves. My name is Qi Yuxuan, and I have just reached level 20, a black knight civet cat with an A-level power. My name is Lai Zihan, I am level 21, and my power is an A-level whirlwind hammer. My name is Lan Ka, I'm level 21, and my power is A-level divine light. Zhang Ling suddenly raised his eyebrows. Hey guys, everyone's abilities are A-level. This Demon City University is indeed one of the top universities in the country. You know my name, I'm at level 28 now, and my power is S-level 1000 illusion spirit butterflies. Zhao Jinyu said to Zhang Ling, the co-pilot, while driving. S-level. Zhang Ling took a breath. This Demon City University is really full of A-level students. B-level students are not as good as dogs. It's A-level or S-level casually. My name is Zhang Ling, I am currently level 14, and my superpower is SSS level world-destroying divine thunder. Zhang Ling also briefly introduced herself. Depend on. Zhao Jinyu suddenly braked and his eyes widened. SSS level. No wonder Dean Zhao Kailai treasures you so much. Not only is his understanding extremely high, but his supernatural powers have also reached the SSS level. Hiss, your talent is extremely rare even in Shanghai University. It seems that you won't hold us back too much. The other 3 girls also widened their beautiful eyes and looked at Zhang Ling up and down again in surprise. With such a high level of understanding and SSS level powers, he is really a monster. The other freshmen of this class will be in dire straits, fearing that they will always live in Zhang Ling's shadow. Continuing on the road, Zhao Jinyu said to Zhang Ling, let me introduce this mission to you first. In a small water town near Shanghai, there have been frequent hauntings recently. Many residents have committed suicide inexplicably, and they seem to have been severely frightened before they died. Some residents also reported that they heard inexplicable singing, weird children's laughter, or saw ghost figures walking by at night. So, we're going to investigate. Are there ghosts in this world? Zhang Ling thought for a moment and asked. I don't know, ghosts are just a legend. Zhao Jinyu shook his head. We suspect that it was created by some kind of alien beast using illusion magic. Similar things have happened before. Because no great damage or too many casualties were found, the official defined this incident as an E-level incident. But I think this matter is not simple and may exceed E-level, so we cannot take it lightly. When the time comes, remember to follow my arrangements and don't run around or move around. Zhongling nodded and said, I understand. The car drove for 2 hours and arrived at the outskirts of this water town. This water town is a very popular tourist attraction. Although there is a haunting, it is still crowded and very lively. Business doesn't seem to be affected at all. This should be because the local area has blocked and concealed this information to avoid causing widespread panic. Zhongling and the others drove all the way to the criminal unit here, asking them about the specific situation here and obtaining permission for the operation. After all, this is a small town with a large flow of people. You cannot act casually to avoid causing innocent harm. You are the warriors here to deal with the haunting incident. I've been waiting for you for a long time. A staff member enthusiastically came up to shake hands with Zhongling and the others. My name is Hu Yuanfei, and I am the team leader here. Let me take you to understand the situation. Okay, Zhao Jinyu nodded and said, it's best to hurry up, we can't delay too long. Good. Hu Yuanfei led everyone into this small town. The town is a water town with hundreds of years of history, with small bridges and flowing water, and houses with quaint bluestone streets and ancient buildings everywhere. Walking inside, it feels like traveling to an era hundreds of years ago. If it weren't for this haunting incident, this would indeed be a great place to live. As soon as Zhongling entered the small town, his spirit suddenly moved and he felt something. He looked around and found nothing. But he had a feeling that something here was incompatible with the overall pattern of the water town. Our water town has always been a popular tourist attraction, and many tourists come here every day to visit. The haunting started about half a month ago. That day, Grandma Wang, who lived on this street, suddenly seemed to be possessed by a ghost. People were attacking everywhere. They looked extremely scary, and her eyes turned green. We arrived with people and took Grandma Wang under control. But at night, she hanged herself in our institute for no apparent reason. There are no stools or anything like that in that house, so it's impossible to hang yourself. But Grandma Wang hung herself from the chandelier by her waistband and hanged herself to death. It seems like she jumped on it and hung herself to death. Don't you have surveillance? Zhongling asked. Of course. Hu Yuanfei held his forehead, but the surveillance camera that night was broken for some reason, and nothing was recorded. The monitoring was good again the next day. Everyone said it was a supernatural incident. Then what? Zhao Jinyu asked with a frown. Then it was Li Laosin who sold pork on the street next door. Hu Yunfei said. One day everyone went to his house to buy meat as usual. After buying it home, some people found that the taste of the meat was not right. I went to ask Hu Yuanfei if they sell stale meat. Guess what? Li Laosin slashed the butcher's knife on the chopping board and said loudly, I just killed it last night. How come it's not fresh? If you don't believe me, come in and take a look. This man followed Li Laosin in to take a look. Guess what happened? This man saw the head of Li Laosin's wife placed on the chopping board inside, along with the bones in various parts. This man was so scared that he came to report the crime immediately. We caught Li Laosin back, and found that he was crazy. He kept saying that he was killing pigs, not his wife. When Lai Zihan and Qi Yuxuan heard this, their faces suddenly turned pale and they almost vomited. Then there will be a series of inexplicable deaths in the town. Hu Yuanfei continued. Some hang themselves, some strangle themselves, some stab themselves dozens of times, and some drown themselves in the basin. Recently, weird things happen every night at night, and people don't even dare to go out. Zhao Jinyu frowned when he heard Hu Yuanfei's words, these are not sure to be haunted. It's also possible that some strange beasts who are good at illusions did it. I just don't know where it's hiding. Tonight, we will stay in the town and wait and see when that thing appears. As long as it dares to show up, I can kill it. Then I'll rely on you more. Hu Yuanfei said respectfully. I hope you can resolve this matter as soon as possible and restore the peace and tranquility of the town to its past. Night. Zhongling and the others patrolled various parts of the town, looking for all suspicious people and objects. The town at night, relieved of the hustle and bustle of the day, became like a young girl who had not left the court, quiet and indifferent. Zhongling held a knife and walked on the bluestone streets of the town while thinking about what he saw and heard during the day. He always felt there was something strange about this town. But I can't tell what's so strange about it. Is it really a strange beast that caused all this? Or is there really a ghost in this world? However, Zhongling is not afraid even if there are ghosts. He already has a certain amount of strength. Even if there is a real ghost, he dares to kill it. In a blink of an eye, it was already midnight, every house had turned off the lights, and the streets were dark, making it almost impossible to see. Fortunately, all the organs of Zhongling's chaos holy body have been strengthened, and his eyes can see more clearly than ordinary people at night. Suddenly, Zhongling saw a beautiful woman with long hair and white sitting on a stone bridge in front of her. Under the calm moonlight, she looked so elegant and ethereal, as if a fairy from the Moon Palace had descended into the mortal world. Hee hee. Zhongling immediately laughed. I was talking about this dark night just now. Now a woman in white appears sitting under the moonlight. Tell me where this moonlight comes from. If you are an ordinary person, your spirit will be completely confused at this time, and you will not pay attention to this small detail that is not consistent with common sense. You will be completely attracted by the woman in white. However, the basic attributes of Zhongling's chaos holy body have increased tenfold, and his mental power has reached 650. This kind of mental confusion is not that effective for him. Beauty, why are you sitting here alone in the middle of the night? Zhongling came under the bridge and asked with a smile. The slave family is waiting for a destined person. The beauty spoke softly, her voice soft and sweet, full of endless charm. Oh, waiting for the right person. Then am I your destined person? Zhongling took a step towards the bridge and asked teasingly. If you are serious, young master, then you are my destined person. The beauty said shyly. Oh, so you mean, you want my heart? Zhongling's hand was already on the handle of the hangdao. The trade union headquarters in Magic City. There is an endless stream of warriors, shuttling inside, looking for teams, or taking on tasks. There are many trade unions in Daxia. These unions are organizations formed voluntarily by warriors. Their main purpose is to resist the invasion of alien beasts and foreign races. They are different from the official troops. They are relatively free and can form teams freely, accept tasks and receive rewards freely. After so many years of development, the trade union has become the most important group in Daxia to fight against alien beasts and foreigners. In order to manage the trade unions, Daxia officials set up trade union headquarters, assigned tasks and rewards to these trade unions. These tasks from the union headquarters are sometimes taken over by various universities as part of student assessments. On the 7th floor of the headquarters building, a man came to an office in a hurry. Xiao Lu, come here quickly and change the level of this task. The man greeted a female clerk. Manager Hao, what's wrong? Female staff member Xiao Lu hurried over and asked. The latest evaluation of the haunted incident in this water town is not E-level, but B-level. Manager Hao said anxiously. Change it quickly, or else we will be in trouble if someone picks it up. Good. Xiao Lu immediately took the note and went to the computer to operate it. After just a few steps, her expression suddenly changed and she said, Manager Hao, someone has already taken over this task. What? Manager Hao was immediately surprised. Who answered the call? It was picked up by the Magic University. He should be a student from the Magic University. Xiao Lu said. A student from Shanghai University. Oops. Manager Hao's expression changed drastically. With the strength of the students, we will definitely not be able to solve this incident. Please call the Magic University immediately. Good. Xiao Lu immediately started making phone calls. Modu University. The phone rang in the office dedicated to students. Hello, where? A student answered the phone. This is the headquarters of the Magic City Union. After listening for a while, the student's expression suddenly changed and he ran out to look for the teacher. Teacher, what's wrong? The general headquarters said that an E-level mission has just been changed to B-level. And there are already several students in our school who have taken on this task. What? E-level mission promoted to B-level? How could they be so careless? People will die. Quick, contact the action team teacher in the school and rush to the mission location immediately. Water Town. On the stone bridge, the woman suddenly giggled and turned around, revealing a ferocious face. Yes, I just want your heart. As soon as she stretched out her hand, her arm suddenly expanded by more than 10 meters. She was in front of Zhongling in an instant and grabbed his left chest. Zhongling was already prepared. Tiangong performed 36 steps, and ducked over with just one step. The next moment, Zhongling unsheathed his sword and stabbed the woman. Puff! The woman's arm was immediately chopped off. Ah! The woman let out a scream. The next moment, she was very angry. She flicked her hair, turned into thousands of long hair, and rolled it towards Zhang Ling. Haha, play with me in a Chinese ghost story. See if you are qualified. Zhang Ling shouted low and slashed with the horizontal knife in his hand again, and the female ghost's hair was also cut off. The woman let out another shrill scream, and then the whole person rushed towards Zhang Ling, intending to bite Zhang Ling. Zhang Ling's sword Emperor Zhuzan struck a few cool and unrestrained blows. Puff puff, the woman's body was divided into 7 or 8 pieces and lay horizontally on the ground. The woman's head still made a shrill cry, flying over to bite Zhang Ling. Quite difficult. Zhang Ling went out with another knife, splitting the woman's head in half, and the woman was completely dead. Call. Zhang Ling exhaled softly and came to the woman's body. After careful inspection, he found that her body was filled with thick yellow liquid and no bright red blood at all. What does this mean to her? Is it a ghost or a zombie? Zhang Ling frowned. Forget it, don't care, as long as you can kill him. Zhang Ling stood up, looked around, and quickly moved forward. Since something happened to him, it should be similar to others. Zhang Ling had just taken a few steps when he found that the road ahead was blocked by more than a dozen people. Each of these people looked directly at Zhang Ling, their eyes were dark yellow and shone with a strange light, their faces looked numb and bloodthirsty, and there was no life at all on their bodies. They seemed to be normal ordinary residents of the town during the day, but they didn't expect that at night, they all turned into this look of neither human nor ghost. It seems that the whole town has fallen. Zhang Ling took a deep breath. No wonder he felt something was wrong with this town during the day. What kind of monster is it that turned the whole town into this? While Zhang Ling was thinking, these residents were already rushing towards Zhang Ling with their teeth and claws bared. Their speed is extremely fast, not inferior to those of more than 10 levels of strange beasts. Zhang Ling took a step back, then swung his sword horizontally, flying up and down, and cut a resident in front of him in 2 with 1 strike. However, after being broken into 2 parts, the resident did not die. His upper body continued to crawl towards Zhang Ling, his mouth opened wide, and he wanted to tear Zhang Ling into pieces. It seems that their heads must be chopped off to kill them completely. So, every time Zhang Ling slashed, he aimed at the head. Puff puff puff. Several residents had their heads chopped off by Zhang Ling and fell to the ground motionless. These residents are more difficult to deal with than the alien beasts. Although alien beasts are fast and have thick skin, they are still living creatures and are afraid of death. They will subconsciously dodge Zhang Ling's attacks. But these residents are completely different. They are all living dead. They are not afraid of death or pain at all. They all want to die together, which makes Zhang Ling a little embarrassed. Fortunately, Zhang Ling had learned the 36 steps of Tiangong, and his footwork was weird and unpredictable, so he was not caught by these residents. Otherwise, you will definitely get injured. After several minutes of hard fighting, Zhang Ling finally killed all the dozen or so living dead. He had just breathed a sigh of relief and was about to join Zhao Jinyu and the others when he found that dozens of residents were silently surrounding him. Each of them looked straight in the eyes, looking at themselves as if they were looking at a big meal. The whole town has turned into the living dead. And each one has more than 10 levels of power, and they are not afraid of death at all. It is indeed a bit difficult to handle. Is this really an E-class mission? Zhang Ling curled her lips. Forget it, there's no point thinking about it now. We must fight out. There was a crackle on Zhang Ling's body, and blue thunder began to emerge. Zhang Ling is going on a killing spree. Seeing the world-destroying divine thunder shining on Zhang Ling's body, the yellow eyes of these living dead clearly showed a hint of fear, and they actually took a step back. Zhang Ling was stunned for a moment. Are they afraid of thunder? Soon, Zhang Ling reacted. Ghosts are yin objects, and they will be afraid of anything strong or yang. In various legends, there are records of Taoist priests using thunder to drive away evil spirits. Zhang Ling's world-destroying divine thunder is the best among thunder methods, containing the supreme aura of destruction. It is normal for these ghosts to be afraid. Isn't this just a coincidence, isn't it? A faint smile appeared at the corner of Zhang Ling's mouth. Originally, Zhang Ling thought it was a bit difficult to turn the entire town into the living dead. Now that he found out that they were afraid of his world-destroying divine thunder, Zhongling immediately lost his fear. He just became their nemesis. Wind and thunder slash. Zhongling was not polite. He activated Tiangong's 36 steps and instantly rushed in front of the living dead in front, swinging out his sword. Click. A bolt of lightning shot out, cutting off all the dozen living dead in front of them. The power of thunder rushed into the bodies of these living dead, and their vitality was immediately extinguished. Their yellow eyes were extinguished directly, and they died on the spot. There was no need for Zhongling to deliberately chop off his head. Zhongling was even more excited after discovering this. He could kill everyone here. So, Zhongling raised his horizontal sword and charged forward crazily. Ding! The upgrade effect caused by combat is doubled, and the realm is increased by 2%. Ding! The upgrade effect caused by combat is doubled, and the realm is increased by 2.5%. Ding! The upgrade effect caused by combat is doubled, and the realm is increased by 3%. Wherever the thunder passed, all the living dead fell down. Soon, all the living dead were slaughtered by Zhongling, but more living dead came around. Although they were afraid of Zhongling's thunder, driven by some kind of order, they still pounced on Zhongling without hesitation. Zhongling relied on the magic of Tiangong's 36 steps to shuttle among these living dead. The world-destroying divine thunder exploded crazily, and the living dead kept falling down like wheat. Other side. Zhao Jinyu has already joined Qi Yuxuan. Zhao Jinyu, everyone here has turned into ghosts. It's so scary, what should I do? Qi Yuxuan's face turned pale with fright. If it were a battle with alien beasts, Qi Yuxuan would not be like this, but the people in this entire town had turned into ghosts. This feeling is so permeating. Girls are most afraid of these things. The situation here has completely exceeded our expectations. Zhao Jinyu killed some living dead but was still frightened. This is not an E-level mission at all. If the entire town turns into the living dead, then this is at least a B-level mission. Let's find the others quickly and leave. When we encounter these living dead, we try not to fight them, but avoid them. Qi Yuxuan nodded. Seeing another group of living dead appear in front of the street, Qi Yuxuan let out a meow, and then turned into a civet-like person, leaping up to the roof vigorously, looking around for a way out. Zhao Jinyu, there is a sound of fighting over there, it seems to be Lai Zihan and Lan Ka. Qi Yuxuan's special power is the Night Civet, which has a huge bonus effect when fighting in the dark night. Not only can she be more sensitive, but her vision is better at night than during the day and she can see farther. Have you seen Zhongling? Zhao Jinyu asked. Zhongling was given to her by Yi Honglian. If something happened, she couldn't explain it to Yi Honglian. Not yet. Qi Yuxuan glanced around and found no trace of Zhongling. Then let's meet up with Lai Zihan and Lan Ka first. Zhao Jinyu jumped up to the roof, and rushed towards Lai Zihan and Lan Ka together with Qi Yuxuan. Some of the living dead pursued them on the streets on the ground, while others also climbed onto rooftops to pursue them. Zhao Jinyu and Qi Yuxuan broke out while fighting, and soon arrived at Lai Zihan and Lan Ka's position. Fortunately, they have all reached level 20 or above, otherwise, facing so many living dead, they would not be able to break through. On the street here, Lai Zihan and Lan Ka are fighting these living dead. Lai Zihan now held a hammer the size of a water tank in his hand, and was smashing it around crazily. Those living dead were hit and immediately turned into a pile of meat. The yellow juice splashed out, making Lai Zihan's body covered with a greasy layer, which was extremely disgusting. Lai Zihan almost vomited several times. But the predicament in front of her left her with no time to gag, and she had to keep swinging the sledgehammer. Lan Ka, who was next to her, was now covered in white light, which illuminated her as if she were an angel descending to earth. From time to time, she helped Lai Zihan dispel some juice from his body and repair the scratches. Facing Lan Ka's divine light, the living dead looked very frightened and did not dare to step forward. Occasionally, Lan Ka's God-given light fell on these living dead, and they immediately let out shrill howls as if they were being burned by flames. Lan Ka's divine light has a restraining effect on them. When Zhao Jinyu saw this scene, his eyes immediately lit up. This time, they had a little more hope of living. Seeing Zhao Jinyu and Qi Yuxuan arriving, Lai Zihan and Lan Ka were overjoyed together. You are finally here. Now everyone in this town seems to have become the living dead. What should we do? This is no longer something we can handle. This mission is at least B level. Zhao Jinyu jumped down from the house, poked the heads of the two living dead with a spear in his hand, and said, "We find Zhongling and leave as soon as possible. Report the situation and let other stronger people handle the incident here." Okay. Lai Zihan nodded and looked at the growing number of living dead around him. He was a little worried and said, "But now that so many living dead have surrounded us, how can we rush out?" "Get on the roof," Zhao Jinyu said. "Try to get rid of these living dead. Lan Ka, your God-given light is a great threat to them. Create a circle of light to protect us all inside." "Okay," Lan Ka responded, activating her supernatural power. A ball of white light spread out around her, forming an aperture that could accommodate 4 people. Facing this white light, these living dead were indeed very afraid and did not dare to step forward. The 4 of them took the opportunity to jump to the roof and prepared to leave. But at this moment, a black figure suddenly blocked the way of the 4 people. This person was completely wrapped in a huge black robe, and his face could not be seen at all. The black smoke coat on his body made him look extremely weird and evil. "Now that you're here, don't even think about leaving. Who are you? Is he the culprit who brought trouble to this town?" Zhao Jinyu suddenly shuddered and scolded sternly. On a helicopter, several teachers from Shanghai University were like ants on a hot pot, pacing back and forth anxiously, unable to sit still at all. "Did you call the criminal department over there? Did they enter the town?" A teacher asked. "Hit. They said they entered the town after dark. It's been 7 or 8 hours since now." Another teacher said. 7 or 8 hours. It's over. They definitely won't last 7 or 8 hours. When we arrive, I'm afraid we will have to collect their bodies. The teacher looked desperate. What's going on with this mission? How could a B-level mission be misjudged as an E-level mission? One teacher frowned and said, "According to the news from the Union headquarters, the culprit of this mission is a strong man from the Ghost Clan who escaped from the K-18 secret realm. I have reached level 30 and have committed several murders near the K-18 secret realm." Later it was said that it had been eliminated. But somehow they said he was on the run. After further investigation, I found that the character in the water town should be the strong man from the Ghost Clan, so I urgently raised the mission level to B level. The strong Ghost Clan is best at controlling other creatures and turning them into their own slaves. Once he transforms a sufficient number of slaves, even a 4th level or even 5th level expert may not be his opponent. It turns out to be a Ghost Clan. They are so courageous that they dare to go wild on our human territory. A teacher said angrily, "Our human souls are stronger than other creatures, and they are excellent nourishment for the ghosts. So if they have the chance, they'll take the risk." The other teacher shook his head. "Who are the students who took on this task this time? Do you understand? Should we notify their teacher?" A teacher asked again. "The leader is Zhao Jinyu, and the others are Qi Yuxuan, Lai Zihan and Lan Ka. They all have at least A-level powers, and Zhao Jinyu is even more S-level. It would be a huge loss if they all died there." One teacher shook his head and sighed. "I heard that there is a boy added to their team, named Zhongling, who is a freshman this year." A teacher said, "What, Zhongling? Is he the new student who has completed the 36 steps of Tiangong? A disciple of Zhao Kailai?" Everyone's eyes widened. It seems so. It's over. Zhao Kailai must be crazy. That's a super genius who can complete the 36 steps of Tiangong. It is said that it is an SSS level talent. Should we notify Zhao Kailai? Let us know, otherwise Zhao Kailai will go crazy and cause trouble for us. Modu University. Zhao Kailai had already fallen asleep. Suddenly, the phone rang. Zhao Kailai frowned. Who disturbed his rest so late at night? He took the phone and said angrily, "Who?" "Dean Zhao, I have something to tell you here. That disciple of yours." The person on the other end of the phone explained the matter carefully. Snap. The phone was crushed into pieces by Zhao Kailai. The next moment, there was a bang, the window shattered, and Zhao Kailai, wearing pajamas and slippers, ran towards the water town. Water town. Zhao Jinyu and the 4 others faced this black-robed man and all felt a huge sense of oppression. The opponent's level is at least level 30 or above. GG. A few little kids dare to ruin my good deeds. Today, I want you all to become my slaves. The man in black robe laughed strangely, and then black smoke emitted, covering the entire town. After those living dead were shrouded in smoke, their yellow eyes immediately turned into blood red, and they rushed towards Zhao Jinyu and the four of them crazily. What to do? Qi Yuxuan and other women's faces showed a hint of despair. Kill. Zhao Jinyu's beautiful eyes showed a fierceness. She gritted her teeth and shouted, then she stabbed the black-robed man with the spear in her hand. Behind her, a pair of beautiful and coquettish butterfly wings emerged, making her incredibly beautiful. However, no one appreciated her beautiful face at this time. With this little ability, you still dare to come to trouble me. The man in black robe laughed strangely again, and smoke exploded from his body. Zhao Jinyu thrust his spear into the air, and immediately hit the target. The next moment, the man in black robe appeared next to Zhao Jinyu, and a ghost claw suddenly grabbed Zhao Jinyu's shoulder. Hiss! Zhao Jinyu's shoulder was scratched with several bloody marks. Fortunately, Zhao Jinyu was wearing a combat uniform, otherwise, her shoulders would have to be removed this time. When Lai Zihan saw this, he quickly hit the black-robed man with the big hammer in his hand. However, the black-robed man turned into a puff of smoke with a bang and disappeared from the spot. At this time, the other living dead had already rushed forward, regardless of the influence of Lan Kei's divine light, and charged towards them crazily. For a while, they were in trouble. Zhao Jinyu, please go and leave us alone. Go while you still can. Lai Zihan suddenly shouted loudly at this time. Yes, Zhao Jinyu, your 1,000 phantom butterflies have the ability to fly, let's go. One is the only one who can walk. Qi Yuxuan also shouted. No, I can't abandon you. Zhao Jinyu had tears in his eyes. Zhao Jinyu gritted her teeth, flew the spear in her hand, and attacked the crowd of living dead. More than a dozen living dead were stabbed in the head by her spear. Speaking of which, Zhao Jinyu was also a little unlucky. Her superpower 1,000 phantom spirit butterflies is originally a very powerful superpower. Not only can its wings carry her to fly, but it can also produce hallucinogenic effects. If you are facing ordinary humans or other strange beasts, Zhao Jinyu's 1,000 fantasy spirit butterflies can make the opponent fall into hallucinations. Moreover, his hallucination is a large-scale hallucination, which can be effective even on thousands of people. But unfortunately, these living dead no longer belong to the category of human beings, and the hallucinogenic effect of her 1,000 phantom butterflies has no effect. In this way, her combat effectiveness was suddenly reduced by more than half. Jia, today, none of you can leave. The figure of the man in black robes shuttled back and forth around the four people like a ghost, and the ghost claws flew out frequently, grabbing the four people's battle clothes and shattering them, and countless blood marks appeared on their bodies. Although Lan Kei continued to use the divine light to treat her, it was of no avail. Yeah, I only know that you can't leave today. At this moment, a voice suddenly sounded. Zhao Jinyu and the others seemed to be in a dream. They turned their heads and looked back, and saw Zhongling, dressed in battle clothes, standing relaxedly on a roof not far away, with a faint smile on his face. Zhongling, you're not dead yet. Zhao Jinyu said with wide eyes. In their opinion, it was already so difficult for the four of them to persist together, and Zhongling was only level 14, so he must have been torn to pieces by these living dead. Well, Zhongling touched her nose and said, thanks to you, I'm not dead yet. Then why don't you run quickly? Zhao Jinyu said anxiously. Don't you see the situation here? I saw it. Zhongling shrugged. That's why I'm here to save you. Are you coming to save us? Zhao Jinyu and the others laughed angrily. Do you think you can save us? Let's try it. Zhongling looked at the man in black robes. This guy seems to be of a high level, a little difficult to deal with. Why are you still here nagging? Leave us alone and leave quickly. Zhao Jinyu shouted. We can't leave. It's not my style to give up on teammates. Zhongling shook his head. Although it is a bit difficult, it may not be impossible to fight. What nonsense are you talking about? Zhao Jinyu was so angry that she wanted to vomit blood. Although she was very grateful to Zhongling for his attitude of not abandoning them, Zhongling's coming over now was just a waste of his life. GG. This little guy is quite interesting. The man in black robe Jia laughed strangely. Your soul seems to be very sweet. In that case, then I will devour your soul first. The man in black robe disappeared from the place with a bang, and the next moment, he was in front of Zhongling. A ghost claw grabbed Zhang Ling with lightning speed. Zhang Ling took a slight sidestep and easily dodged it with Tiangong 36 steps. Then he stepped forward and stepped in front of the man in black robe. Thunder exploded all over his body and he slashed at the man in black robe with a knife. Wind and thunder slash. Click. Puff. Zhang Ling's knife hit the man in black robe right in the middle, splitting the man's black robe in half, sending his whole body flying backwards. A terrifying knife appeared from his forehead to his abdomen. Mark. The black smoke on the man in black dissipated under Zhang Ling's world-destroying divine thunder. What? Zhao Jinyu and the others were so shocked that their eyes almost dropped. The man in black robes who beat them until they were helpless was actually seriously injured by Zhang Ling's knife. Zhang Ling, what kind of monster is this? Ding. The upgrade effect caused by combat is doubled, and the realm is increased by 1%. Ding. Your level reaches level 15 by 0.535%. At this moment, the system sound sounded. The effect of getting stronger with more battles is that as long as you fight, your upgrade speed will be doubled, and you don't have to kill the opponent. Zhang Ling seriously injured an opponent with a higher level than him with one strike and received a lot of rewards. Together with the living dead he hunted before, Zhang Ling finally reached level 15. Host. Zhang Ling. Level 15 0.535%. Strength 90x10. Agility 95x10. Chi and blood 100x10. Defense 65x10. Mental power 75x10. Superpower world-destroying divine thunder SSS level. Martial arts. Basic boxing, great perfection. Basic kick, great perfection. Basic sword technique, great perfection. Wind and thunder slash, great perfection. Sword emperor 9 slashes, great perfection. Basic fist intent LV1. Basic sword yi LV4. Tiangong 36 steps. Xiao Cheng. You lowly human being. How dare you hurt me? The man in black robe revealed his true appearance at this time. He was a man who looked to be about 40 years old. He was stabbed by Zhang Ling from his forehead to his lower abdomen. The wounds were extremely horrific, making him look ferocious and evil. At this time, he was obviously trembling with extreme anger. He didn't expect that Zhang Ling, a level 15 warrior, could actually hurt him. So, you are not human, then what are you? Zhang Ling put the hangdao on his shoulder, narrowed his eyes slightly, and asked. He has reached level 15 and is more confident about defeating the opponent, so he feels very relaxed now. HMPH. I am a great ghost clan. The wounds on the middle-aged man's face continued to squirm as he spoke, looking very disgusting. Today, you will all die here. Your soul and flesh and blood are my food. Ghost clan. Zhao Jinyu was startled. I read about it in a book, but I didn't expect that there really are ghosts. You actually dare to come to our human world and harm our human race. You are so audacious. Aren't you afraid that the strong men of our human race will beat you to death? Ha ha ha. The ghost clan laughed loudly. You lowly humans want to kill me. It's just a dream. Yeah. Zhang Ling curled her lips disdainfully. Don't let Feng Da flash your tongue. My power is the SSS level world-destroying divine thunder, which is the natural nemesis of your ghost clan. Today, I will completely break up your soul and make you completely disappear from this world. After saying that, blue thunder emerged from Zhang Ling's body again, and even his eyes were filled with blue thunder and lightning. Boy, I'll kill you first. The ghost tribe gritted its teeth, and black mist suddenly swept across its body again, suddenly disappearing from the place, and the next moment, it had appeared behind Zhang Ling. If it had been before, Zhang Ling would have been unable to resist such a strange attack from the ghost clan. But Zhang Ling had just learned the 36 steps of Tiangong at Modu University, and coupled with his super mental induction, even though the ghost clan's movements were weird, he was not afraid at all. Feeling that the ghost clan was behind him, Zhang Ling took 36 steps out of Tiangong, turned around casually, and dodged the opponent's attack. After that, his horizontal sword was equipped with powerful thunder power, and he slashed towards the ghost clan. Click. Faced with Zhang Ling's swift and fierce thunder attack, the ghosts could only rely on their body skills to quickly dodge. But Zhang Ling followed Tiangong 36 steps in pursuit. Even though this ghost clan's movements are weird, it is difficult for them to escape easily. Zhao Jinyu and the other four were deeply shocked when they saw that Zhongling had resisted this ghost clan. At the same time, they also saw hope of living. Let's hunt these living dead and help Zhongling relieve the pressure. Good. The weapons Lan Ka gave each of them were attached with divine light, making it much easier for them to kill these living dead. As long as weapons come into contact with these living dead, they will suffer huge damage. This is also the method of using the superpower that Lan Qi just thought of after he calmed down. Zhongling fought with this ghost clan, fighting from the ground to the roof, and from the roof to the water, leaving a mess everywhere. Both body movements are extremely fast. One moment, they are on the roof here, and the next moment they are on the stone bridge over the water. The level of this ghost clan is very high, at least over 30 levels. Logically speaking, Zhongling is no match for him. However, Zhongling's world-destroying divine thunder has a strong restraint effect on the opponent. If the opponent scratches Zhongling, even if it scratches Zhongling, the divine thunder on Zhongling's body will cause considerable damage to him. Coupled with the 36 steps of Tiangong that Zhongling had just cultivated, he could definitely fight back and forth with the opponent without falling behind. This ghost tribe was so angry that they screamed, but there was nothing they could do. After Zhongling fought with this ghost tribe for a while, he suddenly stopped, narrowed his eyes slightly, and said, "Your movement is so weird because of the weird smoke on your body. This should be the innate magical power of your ghost tribe. However, these smokes of yours are naturally restrained by my divine thunder. If I cover the entire town with divine thunder, your innate magical power will no longer be able to be used. You are like a tiger whose teeth have been pulled out and can only wait to die. Now, I will make you completely shaken to pieces." When the ghost clan heard Zhongling's words, his face suddenly changed and he shouted angrily, "Arrogant, you lowly human clan will eventually become the slaves of our ghost clan." He said this in his mouth, but his body was very honest, and he turned around and ran away. Click. How could Zhongling allow him to escape? The SSS level world-destroying divine thunder exploded crazily with all his strength. For a time, the entire town turned into a sea of thunder and lightning. This ghost clan suddenly seemed to be trapped in a quagmire, with lightning crackling constantly on its body, making it difficult to move. Zhongling shouted loudly, thunder wrapped around his body, and he rushed towards the ghost clan. Wind and thunder slash. Strong thunder and lightning gathered on Zhongling's knife, forming a huge light group, completely engulfing the ghost clan. Boom! With an explosion, the ghost's body was directly cut into pieces by Zhongling's knife, and exploded into pieces. A black shadow emerged from his body, which should be his true body, and wanted to escape, but there were blue thunder everywhere, and it could not escape at all. Zhongling shouted loudly and struck with another knife. All the thunder from heaven and earth gathered and struck the black shadow. The black shadow exploded with a bang, turned into streaks of blue smoke, scattered in all directions, and was completely annihilated. However, at the core of the black shadow explosion, a black bead seemed to have fallen. The living dead who fought with Zhao Jinyu and the others seemed to have had all the life drained from their bodies at this moment, and they all fell to the ground. Ding! The upgrade effect caused by the battle is doubled, and the realm is increased by 103%. Ding! Your level reaches level 16 2.545%. Host: Zhongling. Level 16 2.545%. Strength: 110 x 10. Agility: 120 x 10. Chi and blood: 135 x 10. Defense: 85 x 10. Mental power: 95 x 10. Superpower: World-destroying divine thunder SSS level. Martial arts: Basic boxing Great Perfection, Basic kick Great Perfection, Basic sword technique Great Perfection, Wind and thunder slash Great Perfection, Sword Emperor 9 slashes Great Perfection, Basic fist intent LV1, Basic sword Yi LV4, Tiangong 36 steps Xiao Cheng. The level suddenly increased by 103%. Have I reached level 16? Zhongling was stunned. Isn't it too fast to increase the level? After taking a look at the fallen living dead, Zhongling thought for a moment and understood. It should be that the living dead and this ghost tribe are one and the same. Zhongling killing this ghost tribe is equivalent to killing the living dead as well. These living dead are a terrifying number. Therefore, the super doubling effect of getting stronger with each battle was triggered, and the level was directly increased by 103%. Sure enough, the higher the difficulty, the greater the reward. Fortunately, my superpower is the god-destroying divine thunder, which can restrain this ghost clan. Otherwise, I would probably be in trouble today. Zhong Ling sat on the ground, breathing heavily. The thunderous explosion just now was so violent that all the supernatural powers in his body were consumed in an instant. Zhong Ling, you really killed him. Zhao Jinyu and the others were all surprised and sat down on the ground, panting. This night, they really walked at the gate of the Palace of Hell. They looked at Zhong Ling, their eyes filled with brilliance at this moment. This little boy who just entered school is really terrifying. On the helicopter, the teachers kept urging the helicopter pilot to fly faster. Although they knew that even if they were faster, it might be too late, but they still couldn't help but urge. A ghost clan of over 30 levels controlled an entire town and created countless living dead. Zhong Ling, a new student, plus Zhao Jinyu and 4 other senior students of over 20 levels, no matter how hard you calculate, there will be no survivors possible. Not to mention Zhong Ling and the others, even teachers like them would have to work hard to eliminate this ghost clan. Well, Dean Zhao is really going crazy now. Such a talented student died like this. This is life. Throughout the ages, countless amazing geniuses have fallen by the wayside. So, sometimes, those strong people who can grow to the highest level must not only have super talents, but also have great luck. This Zhong Ling may just lack some luck. Amid their urging, the helicopter finally arrived at the outskirts of the town. The helicopter was still dozens of meters away from the ground, so the teachers couldn't wait to jump off one by one. Looking at the dark and silent town, these teachers' hearts sank to the bottom. It is indeed too late. If the town is still filled with the sounds of fighting at this time, it means there are still survivors. At this time, the town was silent, which meant that everything was over. They stood at the entrance of the town, and they were all silent. At this moment, a sonic boom suddenly sounded in the distance, and a figure came from the distance at an extremely fast speed, far exceeding the speed of the helicopter. I'm going. The speed of the flight actually produced a sonic boom. Who is this? While they were dumbfounded, the figure had already approached, and with a sudden stop, it directly smashed a large crater of more than 10 meters in diameter into the rocky ground. The helicopter in the sky was affected by the huge shock wave and almost fell down, but finally took off again. The teachers were surprised and waved their hands to blow away the smoke and dust. After looking carefully, they found a middle-aged man wearing pajamas and bare feet. Dean Zhao. The person who came was none other than Zhao Kailai, the dean of the School of Weapons of Shanghai University. Zhao Kailai's face was extremely serious at this time. In a flash, he came out of the pit, grabbed one of the teacher's shoulders, and asked in a deep voice, "How is the situation? Where is my disciple Zhong Ling?" The teacher's shoulders were almost broken when Zhao Kailai grabbed him. He grinned for a while, and then said sadly, "Dean Zhao, my condolences. By the time we get here, it will be over. They should. All. What?" Zhao Kailai's eyes suddenly opened wide and his whole body started to tremble. Several teachers couldn't help but take a few steps back. Zhao Kailai's aura at this time was so oppressive that they were completely breathless, and the energy and blood all over his body surged. They all had wry smiles on their faces. Zhao Kailai was really going crazy. Well, this is understandable. Such a monster student died not long after he was admitted to the school. No one else would be able to bear it. After a long time, these 2 words popped out from Zhao Kailai's teeth. Behind him, a super broadsword more than 6 meters long appeared. Carved on the broadsword are simple inscriptions, as well as maps of mountains and rivers, geography, and ancient mythical beasts, with an indescribable aura of domineering. This is exactly Zhao Kailai's superpower, the Tyrant Sword. Dean Zhao has taken action. Hiss. This town is going to end. Several teachers were hurt all over by the strong sword energy emanating from the sword. They had to retreat more than 10 feet before they could barely stand. They all know how terrible Zhao Kailai's anger can be. Zhao Kailai's superpower is Ba Dao, which stands out as the word Ba. They had been lucky enough to see Zhao Kailai use his sword once. That time there was a riot in a secret realm. Countless strange beasts rushed out of the secret realm, creating a tide of beasts. Seeing that the National Defense Forces could not resist, a city would be devastated. Zhao Kailai appeared and slashed with his sword, directly creating a huge ravine 10 miles long and hundreds of meters deep. 2/3 of the alien beasts that formed the beast tide were killed by that sword. The remaining strange beasts were either so frightened that they lay on the ground unable to move, or they swarmed back into the secret realm crazily. One person and a knife can solve a crisis. They took a look at the town in front of them. I'm afraid that even if Zhao Kailai can't withstand a sword blow, at most half a sword blow, the whole town will be turned into ashes. It's not good for this ghost clan to kill anyone. Let's kill Zhao Kailai's disciples. Well, I can already see how miserable this ghost tribe's death is. At this moment, in the quiet town, several figures slowly walked towards this side. Did the living dead discover them and come out? The teachers all looked at them with pity. These living dead would be the first batch of dead souls to be killed by Zhao Kailai's sword. Fortunately, they will not feel pain, because there is no word of pain under Zhao Kai's knife, and they will turn into fly ash directly. Zhao Kailai's eyes shot out like swords, and he raised the 6-meter-long supreme sword high and slashed at these figures. Under this knife, everything will cease to exist. However, just when the sword was halfway down, Zhao Kailai was suddenly shocked. Among the several figures coming towards me, one of them, I wonder, who is his precious disciple Zhongling? What's going on? They're not dead. Zhao Kailai was horrified and quickly sheathed the knife. However, even if the sword only cuts half, the powerful sword energy is enough to crush everything. With Zhongling's strength, they might not be able to catch it. Oops. Zhao Kailai's expression changed drastically. His apprentice didn't die in this small town, so was he going to die by his hands? He was so anxious that he almost went crazy, and he sheathed the knife violently. Puff. Because of the fierce conflict of power within his body, a mouthful of blood suddenly spurted out from his mouth. However, the remaining sword energy still has the power to destroy everything. The teachers also saw clearly the faces of Zhongling and others at this time, and their expressions changed drastically. What's going on? Why aren't they dead? It's over. Dean Zhao took this stab and recovered most of it, but it was not something they could resist. They were almost crying. Zhongling did not die in the town, but was killed by Zhao Kailai himself. Zhao Kailai was not allowed to cut their bodies into pieces afterwards. Who told them to say Zhongling was dead? On the opposite side, Zhongling was also shocked when he saw Zhao Kailai's sword. He hadn't seen Zhao Kailai's face clearly yet, so he just thought it was a sneak attack from a master somewhere. Before he had time to think about it, his pupils suddenly shrank, he shouted, and he quickly took 36 steps of Tiangong, allowing himself to find a flaw in the sword in the shortest time, and then used it. Emperor Juzan slashed hard. Boom. There was a loud noise, and the collision of sword energy erupted into a violent explosion in midair. Zhongling's body flew out like a leaf in the wind. However, he flipped several times in midair and landed firmly on the ground. What? He blocked it. He blocked Zhao Kailai's knife. How old is he? How is this possible? This kid is amazing. When several teachers saw this scene, their eyes almost popped out. The next moment, they all jumped up in surprise, shouted loudly, and their whole bodies trembled with excitement. Zhongling blocked the knife. They don't have to die. This was beyond their expectations. When they thought about it, even though Zhao Kailai's sword had been forcibly withdrawn, the remaining sword energy was still enough to kill Zhongling and several others. As a result, Zhongling actually swung his sword when the arrow could not be fired, blocking Zhao Kailai's remaining sword energy. It's really incredible. Even if they, the teachers, wanted to block this knife, it would not be so easy. This kid, what kind of monster is he? Only then did Zhao Jinyu and the others react, and they all took out their weapons and prepared for battle. Zhao Kailai was so excited that he couldn't help shouting when he saw that Zhongling had resisted the remaining sword energy. Good sword skills. Ha ha. As expected of my disciple. His hands were also trembling at this time. This was so close, he killed his own disciple with his own hands. Zhongling and the others also saw clearly at this time that the other party was not the enemy, but Zhao Kailai and the teachers from Mudu University. But they didn't understand why Zhao Kailai actually waved a knife at them. Teacher. Zhongling put away the knife and stepped forward quickly. Why are you here? Zhongling, are you okay? Before Zhao Kailai could speak, Other teachers came forward one after another to check on Zhongling and the others to see if they were injured. "We're fine." Zhongling shrugged his shoulders. Haven't you met the ghost clan in this town?" Seeing that Zhongling and others were not in serious trouble, these teachers couldn't help but ask. "The ghost clan in this town has been dealt with," Zhongling said nonchalantly. "What? Is everything solved?" The teacher's eyes widened. "This ghost clan has more than 30 levels, and it should have turned the entire town into the living dead. How did you solve it?" "Just kill that ghost tribe," Zhongling said with a relaxed expression, taking out the bead that the ghost tribe had dropped. Did you really kill that ghost clan?" How could you possibly kill that ghost clan with your strength?" These teachers' eyes almost popped out. "This is all thanks to Zhongling." Zhao Jinyu stepped forward at this time and said, "Zhongling's SSS level super powerful world-destroying divine thunder happens to be the nemesis of the ghost clan. He fought against the over 30 level ghost alone. With his powerful sword skills and superpowers, he finally killed it and saved us." "What?" These teachers all took a deep breath. "Zhongling killed that level 30 ghost by himself. How did he do it?" "Zhongling, what level are you at now?" a teacher asked. "Oh, I just reached level 16. Zhongling touched his nose and said. "Aren't you level 14? Zhao Kailai said in surprise. When Zhongling first became a disciple, he was obviously at level 14. How many days has it been? Has he been promoted by 2 levels? "Oh, I had a big battle with the living dead and that ghost race last night. I stimulated my potential between life and death and broke through to level 16. Zhongling said lightly. "Puff, is this okay?" Several teachers were shocked. "Ha ha." Zhao Kailai was laughing loudly at this time, extremely happy. This disciple of his is even more evil than he imagined. These teachers are speechless. They have seen geniuses, but never geniuses like this. I don't know how to describe this anymore. Everything that happened tonight was too fantasy. A freshman at level 14 killed more than 30 level ghosts and got promoted 2 levels in a row. Teacher, why are you here too? Zhao Jinyu asked at this time. Oh, the Union headquarters suddenly upgraded your mission to level B. We know you are in danger, so we came to rescue you quickly, said a teacher. Luckily you're okay. Thank you all teachers, Zhao Jinyu and others said gratefully. Thank you, teacher, Zhongling also said to Zhao Kailai at this time. Zhao Kailai was still wearing pajamas and bare feet. Zhongling could imagine that Zhao Kailai rushed over as soon as he heard that something was wrong with him, without even having time to change his clothes. In all his life, no one has ever been so kind to him. Thank you for what? You are my disciple, of course I have to be responsible for you. Zhao Kailai looked at Zhongling with relief on his face. After struggling for so long, the sky has become bright. People from the criminal department also came over at this time and asked about the situation. Hu Yuanfei felt heartbroken when he learned that the ghost tribe had been killed, but the entire town had turned into the living dead. There are 4,000 to 5,000 people in this small town. That's it. All dead. Zhongling patted Hu Yuanfei on the shoulder and said, don't be sad, anyway, you are going to accompany them soon. Zhongling suddenly smiled strangely, and then slashed at Hu Yuanfei with a knife. What are you doing? Hu Yuanfei was shocked. A burst of black smoke suddenly appeared from his body, and the next moment, it appeared in the distance. What's going on? When Zhao Jinyu and the others saw this scene, they were all shocked. What is Zhongling doing? But, how could this Hu Yuanfei know the skills of the ghost tribe? You are the real ghost clan. Zhongling's eyes were slightly narrowed, and the horizontal knife in his hand was pointed at Hu Yuanfei. How did you find out? Hu Yuanfei's pupils slowly turned yellow-brown, and his face became ferocious. He didn't expect that his disguise would be discovered. From the moment you brought us into the town, I felt something was wrong. Zhongling's eyes narrowed slightly. Although those small town residents look normal, I can feel that they are looking at us like a hunter. But they look at you in a different way. That's a look of fear and submissiveness. You can deceive others with this subtle change, but you can't deceive me. You are their core. And the process of killing that ghost clan in the end was indeed a bit too casual. Although I am indeed very strong, a senior ghost shouldn't be killed so easily. Especially since you have a record of escaping before. Originally, if you had been hiding and not showing up, I wouldn't have discovered your traces. It's a pity that you enjoyed fooling us so much that you ended up ruining yourself. I didn't expect that I would still be discovered by you. Hu Yuanfei smiled coldly, but you can't catch me. The Ghost Clan is omnipresent. This world will eventually become the hunting ground of our Ghost Clan. GG. Hu Yuanfei suddenly turned into a puff of smoke and disappeared. However, the next moment, a sword shot out in the air. Boom. There was a loud noise, a cloud of black smoke exploded in the sky, and a larger black bead fell from the sky. Trying to escape in front of me. You look down on me, an 8th level Grand Master. Zhao Kailai stood with his hands behind his back and spoke calmly. Zhao Kailai didn't use his sword at all, he just stretched out a hand and used his hand as a sword to strike out, directly smashing Hu Yuanfei into pieces. Although this Ghost Clan is invisible, Zhao Kailai's mental power has already locked onto him. Turns out he is the real ghost. He is so good at hiding, no wonder the previous warriors let him escape. The teachers at Modu University took a slight breath at this time. This reversal really caught them off guard. Fortunately, Zhongling was observant, otherwise, this Ghost Clan would have escaped again, and it would have caused a tragedy. This mission is over now. This Ghost Clan is completely dead this time. However, the entire town turned into the living dead, and everyone died. It was also a huge tragedy. Zhongling and the others were not happy either. The criminal department soon began to intervene and cremate the bodies of the living dead in the town to avoid further problems. Zhao Kailai and the others took the helicopter back, while Zhongling and the others still took Zhao Jinyu's car back. When they arrived, Zhao Jinyu and the others thought Zhongling was a new student and thought he might be a drag on them. When they returned, their eyes turned to admiration and gratitude when they looked at Zhongling. If they hadn't brought Zhongling this time, they would definitely be dead. Zhongling, if you need help with anything in the future, just come to us. Zhao Jinyu said, we owe you a favor. Zhongling waved his hand and said, what kind of favor is this? We are teammates. We should face it together. When they arrived at school, they went to the school's assignment office to hand in their assignments. Hand over the 2 black beads and tell the story of the mission. The mission will be considered completed. Because this mission has been upgraded from E level to B level, the rewards for their mission have also been increased accordingly. Each person received a reward of 2,000 credits, as well as 10 top quality Qi and blood pills. Qi and blood pills are conventional pills that assist in cultivation. However, Qi and blood pills also have grades. Low-level Qi and blood pills are not as effective as high-level Qi and blood pills. If Zhongling and the others wanted to buy these 10 top quality Qi and blood pills in school, they would need 1,000 credits each. After taking the Qi and blood pills, Zhongling, Zhao Jinyu and the others said goodbye and returned to their villa. I usually use the chaos body to improve my realm. It gets stronger with each battle. I have never taken any pills. Now you can try taking the elixir. Zhongling stuffed a Qi and blood pill into his mouth and began to practice. The Qi and blood pill melted in his mouth, and the next moment, a majestic power of Qi and blood surged from Zhongling's body. Chapter 51. Qi and blood were surging, but Zhongling didn't know how to refine it and make it his own strength. Although he also learned how to cultivate Qi and blood when he was in high school, those were the most basic cultivation methods and were not even considered exercises. It is really difficult to digest this top quality Qi and blood pill. I need a skill to strengthen my Qi and blood. Zhongling thought so in her heart. But now that he had swallowed the Qi and blood pill, he couldn't spit it out again, so he had to bite the bullet and refine it. He came to the practice room and began to practice the 36 steps of Tiangong, and performed the 9 sword emperor slashes over and over again. He wanted to use this fighting method to refine the Qi and blood pill. This method was indeed effective. As he continued to practice his sword skills, Zhongling felt that the Qi and blood in his body were filling the whole body, increasing the strength of his Qi and blood. He can also see that his realm is improving rapidly. It's a pity that there are no enemies here. If Zhongling can fight with someone, his level will definitely improve faster. Ding dong. Just then, the doorbell rang. Zhongling stopped her moves and opened the door. Outside the door, it was Zhao Kailai and Yi Honglian. Teacher, senior sister. Zhongling quickly let the 2 people in. Ha, Zhang Ling, you took the qi and blood pill. Zhao Kailai could tell Zhang Ling's condition at a glance. Zhang Ling nodded, but I don't have the skills to refine it, so I can only refine it by venting it in battle. I was practicing my sword just now. Without skills, it is indeed difficult to refine these qi and blood pills. Zhao Kailai nodded, it's too late to teach you the skills now. Let's do this, Hong Lian, you have a fight with Zhang Ling and help him refine the power of the qi and blood pill. Yes, Yi Honglian looked at Zhang Ling with a smile and said, Junior brother, my sister will not show mercy. Be prepared to be beaten badly. Junior brother, this is just for beating. Especially last time, this little junior brother made him cry a lot, so he had to find his place today. Make him cry. Thinking about how he cried after being beaten, hee. I'm really looking forward to it. Haha, senior sister, feel free to come. Zhang Ling was worried that he had no one to accompany him in the fight, so it would be great if Yi Honglian could come. Zhao Kailai was also happy to take a closer look at the current strength of his two disciples and stood aside with a smile. Yi Honglian's weapon is also a sword, but it is a double sword. Her pair of swords are of a higher grade than Zhang Ling's, they are A-level Yan Ling swords. Junior brother, let me recruit you first. Yi Honglian held two swords in his hands and raised his fingers at Zhang Ling contemptuously. Good. Zhang Ling was not polite either. Yi Honglian is a warrior who has reached level 32, and her strength is much higher than him. Whoosh. Zhang Ling used the 9-sword emperor slashes, stepped to the side of Yi Honglian, and slashed with his sword. Zhao Kailai looked at Zhang Ling's knife from the side and couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. The strength, angle, and timing of this knife are perfect. This disciple of mine is really a monster. You are only 18 years old, and you are able to practice the art of swordsmanship to such a subtle level. When I was his age, I was far behind him. As long as he doesn't die in the middle, his future achievements will definitely be higher than mine. Not only can he reach the 9th level of Martial Saint, he may even surpass the 9th level and achieve the achievement of Martial Emperor. Yi Honglian was slightly surprised when she saw Zhang Ling's knife. She was able to reach level 32 in her junior year. She was also a genius among geniuses and had experienced countless actual battles. But Zhang Ling was the first one to make her fall into a passive position. This little junior brother is really extraordinary. However, no matter how talented he is, the time to practice martial arts is still too short. Whether it is level, actual combat experience, or the number of martial arts, or the proficiency of martial arts, they are far behind Yi Honglian. Yi Honglian can still be handled easily. Yi Honglian suppressed her own realm to avoid hurting Zhang Ling. The Yan Ling knife slashed diagonally, blocking Zhang Ling's knife, and then quickly rotated and attacked with strange and unpredictable knife skills. Facing Yi Honglian's attack, Zhang Ling did not panic at all. He took 36 steps of Tiangong, dodged lightly, and then used the 9-sword emperor slash to counterattack. Ha, you dodged my blow so easily. This little junior brother really has two skills. Come again. Yi Honglian was surprised by Zhang Ling's strong coping ability and quick reaction, but she quickly turned around, blocked Zhang Ling's sword, and slashed with both swords. Zhang Ling once again took Tiangong 36 steps to dodge, and then used the Sword Emperor's 9 slashes to attack. The Sword Emperor's 9 slashes are said to be 9 cutting methods, but in fact they are just an imaginary number concept. 9 types of slashes can be combined at will to produce different attack patterns. Zhang Ling's horizontal sword flew up and down with incomparable skill and dexterity. The fight with Yi Honglian went back and forth without falling behind in the slightest. Yi Honglian thought that she would soon be able to suppress Zhang Ling and beat him until he cried for father and mother. Unexpectedly, Zhang Ling completely resisted her attack. Now Yi Honglian couldn't keep it off her face. She was also a senior sister after all, and she had already reached level 32. He was actually on an equal footing with Zhang Ling, a junior fellow who was in his teens, so where could he put his face? Then, the power of Yi Honglian's sword suddenly changed, and Yan Ling's 2 swords were densely packed, like a Yangtze River pouring down, slashing towards Zhang Ling. Zhang Ling suddenly felt huge pressure, but he was not surprised but happy. The stronger the pressure, the more beneficial it would be for him to refine the qi and blood pill. While Zhang Ling used Tiangong's 36 steps to dodge, he used the Sword Emperor's 9 slashes to find flaws and weaknesses in Yi Honglian's sword technique. After playing dozens of rounds, Zhang Ling began to gradually recover from the decline and was once again on par with Yi Honglian. Yi Honglian's eyes widened. Zhang Ling was on par with her again. This guy's sword skills are really strong. Logically speaking, since he did not enter university, he should not have learned any advanced sword skills. Yi Honglian unconsciously began to increase her strength. Originally, she didn't want to rely on her level advantage to suppress Zhang Ling, but if this continues, she won't be able to defeat Zhang Ling at all, and that would be a shame. How can I convince this little junior brother in the future? Therefore, she can only work harder secretly. However, Yi Honglian soon discovered that after she increased her strength, Zhang Ling was able to withstand it. Zhang Ling is only level 16, but his strength is actually stronger than that of ordinary warriors who are over level 20. This kid, he is not an enhanced warrior. How can he be so strong? Zhao Kailai watched the battle between Zhang Ling and Yi Honglian and couldn't help but narrow his eyes slightly. He could see that Yi Honglian had already used 6 points of his strength. Logically speaking, with Yi Honglian's level 32 strength, she should be able to easily defeat Zhang Ling, but as a result, Zhang Ling was able to do so with ease. It's incredible. Zhang Ling seems to have mastered a very mysterious ancient sword technique. Where did he get it? This sword technique is not a martial skill, it is just a higher level application of basic sword techniques, but it is very mysterious and contains the true meaning of sword techniques. Even for me, this sword skill will be of great benefit. This kid really surprises me again and again. Yi Honglian couldn't defeat Zhang Ling after a long attack, so she had no choice but to increase her strength by 1 point, reaching 70% of her strength. It was already a shame for Yi Honglian that a level 32 warrior had to use 7 points of strength to defeat a level 16 warrior. Zhang Ling felt that Yi Honglian's power had increased again, and she became even more excited. The stronger the opponent, the more potential he can unleash. This is the characteristic of the Chaos Holy Body. The more you fight, the stronger it gets. Zhang Ling's eyes shot out with brilliant light. The Sword Emperor's 9 slashes became more mysterious, and the 36 steps of Tiangong became more and more weird and unpredictable, circling around Yi Honglian. Yi Honglian felt as if there were people in all directions, and she could be attacked at any time in every direction, without any blind spots. This kid, I have exerted 70% of my strength, but he is getting stronger and stronger. Where are his limits? Yi Honglian's face was a little confused. If outsiders knew that she lost to her junior brother who was only level 16, how could she still survive in Shanghai University? As soon as she gritted her teeth, Yi Honglian gained some strength. Hoo. Yi Honglian's wild goose feather sword swung up, creating waves of whirlwinds. The swords were fierce and unstoppable. Zhang Ling's eyes brightened even more. My senior sister is indeed amazing. Only by fighting against such a strong man can you become stronger as you fight. As a result, Zhang Ling mustered up all his energy, used his sword and body skills to his fullest, and completely entered a state of enlightenment. He felt as if his knife had merged with his body again and could carry his thoughts. Wherever your thoughts go, your sword skills go. The power of the sword technique has been improved to a big level. Ding! Your basic sword skills have become even better through your constant fighting, and your basic sword skills have reached LV5. Ding! Your basic sword skills have become even better through your constant fighting, and your basic sword skills have reached LV6. Ding! Your basic sword skills have become even better through your constant fighting, and your basic sword skills have reached LV7. The sound of the system sounded, which surprised Zhang Ling. This battle with Yi Honglian actually made his sword intention increase by 3 levels in a row. Senior sister is really my lucky star. In Zhang Ling's excitement, her sword skills became even more fierce. Suddenly she spotted a flaw in Yi Honglian and struck with a sword. Call out! Yi Honglian's long red hair was chopped off by Zhang Ling and scattered in the wind. Yi Honglian quickly backed away and looked at Zhang Ling, her beautiful eyes filled with shock. She actually had a section of her hair cut off by Zhang Ling. Zhao Kailai's eyes were flashing with brilliance at this time. Zhang Ling's knife just now was so wonderful. He couldn't even believe that Zhang Ling, who was only level 16, could slash like that. It seems that the reason why he was able to withstand the remaining sword energy of his sword in the water town was not due to luck, but because he truly had that strength. Hiss. This disciple really surprised me. Okay, it's almost done. Zhao Kailai stopped Yi Honglian and Zhong Ling. If the beating continues, Yi Honglian's face may not look good. Zhong Ling, your sword skills are very good, I am very surprised. But just now your senior sister gave in to you. Yeah, I know. Zhong Ling nodded. Thank you, senior sister, for your advice just now. Yi Honglian wanted to say something, but after holding it in for a long time, no words came out. Although she only used 80% of her strength, she always felt that even if she used 100% of her strength, she might not be able to defeat Zhong Ling. This little junior brother is so outrageous. My self-esteem is so badly hit. Zhong Ling, I see that your sword skills are very good. Have you learned a powerful sword skill from someone? Zhao Kailai asked Zhong Ling again. Oh, I was at the 20th level of the trial tower, and I had a fight with the warrior guarding the level. He taught me a lot, and then gave me a sword technique called the Sword Emperor's 9 Slashes. He created it himself. Zhong Ling replied. What? Hearing this, Zhao Kailai and Yi Honglian were both surprised. They also passed the trial tower, and they also passed the 20th level. But, how come they didn't know that the NPC guarding that level would also give away sword skills? Teacher, will the trial tower still give away things? Yi Honglian asked Zhao Kailai. Yes, Zhao Kailai nodded and said, this trial tower was built in ancient times. It is very profound and we still can't fully understand it. It is said that some of the NPCs in this trial tower were once real people. They set up their own projections in the trial tower to teach the younger generations. The NPC at level 20 is probably the ancient Sword Emperor. When I first passed that level, I felt that the person was very real and kind, not like a fake NPC. It's just that my talent hasn't reached that level, and I can't let him give me the sword skills. Zhao Kailai was a little shocked. From this, it seemed that his talent was really inferior to that of his disciple. This may just be the disciple's good luck. Zhong Ling said quickly. Hee. Zhao Kailai smiled and said, Zhong Ling, you don't have to comfort me. As a teacher, I hope that my disciples can surpass themselves. Your talent is higher than mine. It's my luck to have you as my disciple. Zhong Ling scratched her head shyly, not knowing what to say. Zhong Ling, this sword technique should be the essence of the basic sword technique summarized by the Sword Emperor. It can lay the solid foundation for those who practice sword art, and it will be of great benefit. You can hand over this sword technique to me, and I will hand it over to the college. This will benefit all the students who study sword technique at Shanghai University in the future. The college can also reward you with a lot of credits. Zhao Kailai said to Zhong Ling again. When practicing martial arts, the foundation is particularly important. If every student who practices swordsmanship in Modu University can learn the 9 Sword Emperor slashes, the foundation will be stronger and the upper limit can be raised in the future. Good. Zhong Ling nodded. I will teach you this sword technique now. There's no need to be in such a hurry. Zhao Kailai waved his hand. You have just digested the qi and blood pill. I will teach you a breathing exercise method first. Steady yourself. This breathing exercise method is called the Xuanwu breathing method. It was found in the ruins of a secret realm for my master. It is not considered a school skill and can be taught to you directly. If you want to learn other martial arts in the future, you will have to consume credits. I can't teach them to you privately. This is the school rule. Yes, Zhong Ling nodded. Come, sit down, I will explain the Xuanwu breathing technique to you now. Zhao Kailai asked Zhong Ling to sit down and meditate, and then began to teach him the Xuanwu breathing method. The Xuanwu breathing method is divided into 99 levels. Start from the basics and practice until you can swallow the world. It can benefit you throughout your life and you don't have to practice other breathing techniques. Your senior sister and the others have all practiced this breathing method, which is of great benefit in refining qi and blood and during combat. Come on, let me tell you the basics of the first level first. Xuanwu is an ancient divine beast. There is a turtle and a snake. The turtle swallows the world and the snake sucks in all directions. The power of qi and blood is the foundation of a warrior. Zhao Kailai was pacing slowly while explaining the first level breathing method to Zhong Ling. Zhang Ling sat on the ground meditating and listened carefully, not daring to be negligent in the slightest. In the blink of an eye, Zhao Kailai spoke for more than 10 minutes. The first level of Xuanwu breathing technique is to lay the foundation. You must understand the rules, rhythm, gist, etc. of Xuanwu breathing. So it may be a little difficult to practice, so you don't have to be too anxious. If you can. Zhao Kailai was telling Zhang Ling with his hands behind his back when he suddenly heard a rumbling sound of air flow coming from Zhang Ling's mouth behind him. Zhao Kailai was stunned for a moment, then turned to look at Zhang Ling and found 2 white lines of qi coming out of Zhang Ling's nose, like 2 small snakes wandering back and forth. Zhang Ling's mouth made a loud sound like a tide between every breath and every breath. Zhao Kailai was stunned. Yi Honglian's eyes almost fell off. Zhang Ling's performance was obviously the result of practicing the first level of Xuanwu breathing technique. But, Zhao Kailai just said it once. Zhang Ling has just completed cultivation. Zhao Kailai doubted his life for a while. Honglian, how long did it take you to get started? Zhao Kailai asked. My disciple is stupid, it took 20 days, woo. Yi Honglian was about to cry. This comparison between people is really annoying. This little junior brother is so ignorant of martial ethics. How can we live like this? I studied this Xuanwu breathing method back then, and it took me a full month to get started. Zhao Kailai raised his head and looked at the sky at a 45-degree angle, which is said to prevent tears from falling. 10 minutes later, Zhang Ling slowly opened his eyes. Teacher, I have succeeded in practicing this first level. It doesn't take long, does it? My understanding is pretty good, right? Hearing Zhang Ling's words, Zhao Kailai and Yi Honglian twitched their mouths fiercely. Is this okay? If this is okay for you, then who are we? Zhao Kailai took a deep breath, nodded, and said against his will, well, your understanding is not bad. Then, now I will teach you the second level, please listen carefully. Zhang Ling nodded, listened attentively, and soon entered a state of enlightenment again. Soon after, Zhang Ling's mouth made a sound like rushing water again, and 2 small white snakes swam back and forth quickly in his nose. His belly was constantly swelling and retracting as he breathed in and out, like a big toad. What the hell, he has completed the second level again. Zhao Kailai looked up at the sky again, with a touch of sadness in his eyes. Accepting such a disciple would be good for everything, but his self-esteem would be easily damaged. About 30 minutes later, Zhang Ling began to practice the third level again. Then there are the 4th and 5th floors. By nightfall, Zhang Ling had reached the 13th level of cultivation. Teacher, let's learn the 14th floor. Zhang Ling said with excitement after completing the 13th level. After practicing this Xuanwu breathing method, he felt that the energy and blood in his body were countless times stronger than before, and his energy was also many times greater. The strength of his body has greatly increased, making his strength explode. Therefore, he is eager to continue practicing. Let's get here first today. Zhao Kailai waved his hand, took out a simple book and handed it to Zhang Ling. This is the entire content of Xuanwu breathing technique. You can practice it by yourself when you are free. You have already started and have the ability to practice alone, so you don't have to keep asking me. Out of sight, out of mind, let Zhang Ling practice on his own, so he doesn't have to be hit all the time. Yes, Zhang Ling nodded. Then what? You teach me your Emperor Sword 9 slashes, and after I refine it, I can help you hand it over to the school. Zhao Kailai said. Yes, Zhang Ling nodded and took up his stance, preparing to demonstrate the 9 sword Emperor slashes. Honglian, come and learn together. This 9 sword Emperor slashes is an excellent sword technique to lay the foundation, and it will also be of great help to you. Zhao Kailai said to Yi Honglian again. Yes, teacher. Yi Honglian nodded and watched Zhang Ling's demonstration attentively. At the beginning, Zhao Kailai and the others thought that the 9 sword Emperor slashes would be easy, but soon they discovered that the sword Emperor 9th slashes were extremely profound. The seemingly simple moves actually contain extremely powerful sword skills. One night passed, and Zhao Kailai and Yi Honglian couldn't even get started with the first move. Zhang Ling, how long did it take you to start practicing the 9 sword Emperor slashes? Zhao Kailai asked Zhang Ling. Oh, I got started after practicing for the 3rd time. Zhang Ling said. Puff. Zhao Kailai almost spit out blood. Teacher, you don't have to worry. When Zhongling saw this, he quickly said, I studied with the Sword Emperor in the trial tower for a long time, so I was able to get started so quickly. You haven't studied with the Sword Emperor in the trial tower, so it will naturally be slower to get started. I have time anyway, no need to worry. Listening to Zhongling's comfort, Zhao Kailai didn't know what it was like. If possible, he really wanted to hide his face and run away. But the 9 Sword Emperor slashes were really important to him. This contains the sword intention of the ancient Sword Emperor. If he could understand it, he might even break through that layer of shackles and be directly promoted from the Grand Master of Baji to the 9th level Martial Saint. Over the years, he has been hovering on the threshold of the 9th level, but he has no way to get there. This Sword Emperor 9 slashes may be an opportunity. So, Zhao Kailai nodded, put aside his face, and said, okay, let's continue. At this time, Yi Honglian wisely went to order some takeaway. They practiced for a day and a night, but they were all hungry. After eating, Zhongling continued to teach Zhao Kailai and Yi Honglian the 9 Sword Emperor slashes. After all, Zhao Kailai is a great master of swordsmanship. He has been immersed in swordsmanship for decades and has great talent and strength. 7 days later, he had already slashed the Emperor Zhu through the door. After getting started, Zhao Kailai felt more and more the profound sword skills contained in the 9 Sword Emperor slashes, and hurriedly went back to retreat. Yi Honglian continued to practice the 9 Sword Emperor slashes with Zhongling. For the sake of convenience, she simply moved to Zhongling's place. Zhongling originally wanted to refuse politely. After all, living alone with a man and a woman might have a bad impact. But Yi Honglian simply ignored his polite refusal and moved in with a suitcase. Just move in as soon as you move in, but this senior sister doesn't regard herself as an outsider at all. She sleeps until she wakes up naturally every day, and then walks back and forth with bare feet in extremely cool pajamas. She has no idea that her hot figure can be useful to a boy who is in his prime. What a temptation! Zhongling could only smile helplessly and focus on training. Ding dong! On this day, Zhongling had just finished practicing the Xuanwu breathing technique and was taking a rest in the living room when he heard the doorbell ring. Zhongling stepped forward and opened the door. Outside the door, there was a person Zhongling didn't expect. The third young lady of the Zhong family, Zhong Qiran. Is it you? What are you doing here? Zhongling frowned. Zhongling, what's your attitude? I am your third sister. You don't even know how to call me when you meet me. How uneducated. The Zhong family has really indulged you these years. Zhong Qiran folded his arms and raised his chin high, with a condescending attitude. Snort. Zhongling snorted coldly, I have severed ties with the Zhong family. Don't you know, you cut it off just because you said it was cut off. Zhong Qiran said disdainfully. Since you have the blood of the Zhong family in your body, then you will be a member of the Zhong family in life and a ghost of the Zhong family in death. I'm here today to tell you, don't be rebellious with me. Honestly call your father and grandpa to admit your mistake. I will assist Zhong Ting well from now on. Our Zhong family is an ancient imperial clan destined to be revived, and your talent is also the result of the Zhong family's bloodline. Ha ha. Zhongling couldn't help laughing loudly. Zhong Qiran, who do you think you are? I will go back to the Zhong family if you ask me to. Why didn't you tell me when you kicked me out of the family? I grew up in an orphanage. What does it have to do with your Zhong family? If the Zhong family feels that raising me for 8 years has cost you money, then I can give the money back. Let me go back to the Zhong family and assist Zhong Ting in my dream. Zhongling, it seems you are really hopeless. Zhong Qiran shook his head. I tell you, this matter is not something you can do whatever you want. If I want you to go back now, you must go back. What if I don't? Zhongling curled her lips sarcastically. If you don't want to go back, then bring back the Zhong family's bloodline. A flash of light flashed in Zhong Qiran's eyes, and he stretched out his hand and grabbed Zhongling. Zhongling immediately used Tiangong 36 steps, took 1 step back, and dodged easily. Zhong Qiran missed the target, and his beautiful eyebrows couldn't help but frown slightly. It seems that you have made great progress during your time at Shanghai University. This is all the result of our Zhong family bloodline. Using our Zhang family's blood to show off outside, but refusing to serve the Zhang family, how can there be such a reason in this world? Get down here. Zhang Churan's hand suddenly flashed with cyan light, forming a huge handprint, and pressed it on Zhang Ling. Martial skills. Zhang Ling's eyes flashed. He had never practiced martial arts such as boxing or palm skills, so he would suffer a loss from Zhang Churan's attack. Just when he was about to use the knife, a fiery red figure suddenly arrived, and a giant flaming palm faced Zhang Churan. Boom! There was an explosion, and Zhang Ling's villa was immediately bombed into a mess. The sofa, floor, and coffee table were all reduced to pieces. Yi Honglian. Zhang Churan looked at Yi Honglian, who was wearing cool pajamas, and couldn't help frowning. Why are you in my brother's villa? He is my junior brother now. Yi Honglian looked up to the sky and stretched, highlighting his graceful figure to the fullest. If there were other boys here, they would definitely get nosebleeds. You came to my junior brother's house and made a scene. Do you really think that I, Yi Honglian, gave you for nothing? Your junior brother. Zhang Churan frowned slightly, and suddenly remembered that Zhang Haoyan had said that Zhang Ling seemed to have worshipped Zhao Kailai as his teacher. What about your junior brother? He is my biological brother. It's not your turn to take care of the matters between us siblings. Ha! Yi Honglian looked up to the sky and shouted, your brother. A younger brother who has been expelled from the family by you is still a younger brother. When I thought someone was useless, I kicked him out. Now I see Zhang Ling's talent is off the charts, and I want to take him back shamelessly. I've seen shameless people, but I've never seen anyone so shameless. Yi Honglian, I advise you not to meddle in other people's business. Zhang Churan's face was cold. This is our Zhang family's business. I just don't care. What's wrong? Yi Honglian didn't give in at all. Zhang Churan's eyes showed strong murderous intent and said, Yi Honglian, I will remember this account. Zhang Ling, let me advise you again, do you want to go back or not? Get out. Zhang Ling only cursed this word. Good. Just wait for me. Zhang Churan glanced at Zhang Ling and Yi Honglian bitterly, then turned and left. Neuropathy. After Zhang Churan left, Zhang Ling curled her lips and said, this family is all crazy. Zhang Ling, you don't have to be afraid. If she dares to use force on you, I will be there for her. Yi Honglian patted Zhang Ling on the shoulder. Even if I can't do it, there's still our teacher. Yes. Zhang Ling nodded with gratitude on his face. Thank you, senior sister. Don't be polite to me. Come on, continue teaching me the Sword Emperor's 9 slashes. Yi Honglian walked directly into the practice room wearing thin and pajamas. Zhang Ling couldn't help but touch her nose. Is this senior sister sincere or intentional? Seeing Zhang Ling's embarrassed look, Yi Honglian felt proud in her heart. Brat, who asked you to attack my self-esteem? I have to make a fool of myself too. I don't believe you can handle it. As the new students gradually come to register, the start of the semester at Modu University is approaching. What attracts the most attention every year at the beginning of school is the freshman competition. In order to get a thorough understanding of each student and select talented students for special training, Shanghai University of Finance and Economics and other major universities will conduct a competition at the beginning of the semester. Let everyone know which talented talents have appeared in the school this year. On the school's forum, there are already many posts discussing this year's freshman competition. This year's college entrance examination has indeed produced a lot of talents, and Shanghai University has also grabbed a lot of them. It is said that the provincial champion even snatched 5 back. Who among the 5 top picks will take first place in this year's freshman competition has become the hottest topic. It's a pity that we didn't grab the top pick in the country this year. Huo Lingyun, the national champion, was snatched away by Jinling University. Huo Lingyun is a member of the Huo family. The Huo family is based in Jinling City. It is normal for Huo Lingyun to enter Jinling University. Tell me, among the 5 top picks, who is more likely to win the first place? That must be Liu Shengnan. Liu Shengnan is a direct descendant of the Liu family, and she is also an SSS-level gifted ancient beast, the White Tiger. In the freshman competition, she will definitely be the first. I think the others also have a chance. The freshman competition not only looks at talent, but also actual combat ability. I am more optimistic about Jin Yichuan, the number 1 pick in Sichuan province. I think Shen Chong, the champion of Shonan Province, also has a chance. Don't any of you think that this first time will probably be Zhong Ling. When I first entered school, I cracked the 36 steps of Tiangong, and it's an SSS level skill. Who can match this kind of talent? Moreover, it is said that he scored 200,000 points in the college entrance examination and was supposed to be the top scorer in the country. It was only because the bracelet was damaged that the title of number 1 pick was revoked. Yeah, I almost forgot about Zhong Ling. Being able to crack the 36 steps of Tiangong is indeed a monster's talent. In addition, he has become a disciple of Zhao Kailai. In the past 2 months, his strength must have greatly increased. In short, this year's freshman competition will be very exciting. We are in for a treat. In a villa at Shanghai University, a beautiful girl with neat short hair had just taken a shower, was wearing pajamas, and was also looking at the forum. This girl's eyes are like stars, her eyebrows are like 2 swords, and her facial features are 3-dimensional and exquisite. She is really a standard beauty. However, she has an aura that is not inferior to that of a woman. Her whole person is like a sharp sword out of the body. She is powerful, valiant and heroic, and has a unique androgynous charm. When she saw that Zhong Ling was the number 1 scholar in the country and would take the first place in this freshman competition, her starry eyes suddenly revealed a sword-like light. Zhong Ling, I cracked the 36 steps of Tiangong just after I entered the school, the SSS level supernatural world-destroying divine thunder, and I'm still a disciple of Zhao Kailai. Interesting. I won't be alone at Shanghai University. I really look forward to the freshman competition starting soon. Let me see if you really have the ability to be number 1 in the country. In some other single-room dormitories, the other 4 provincial champions are also eager to try and win the first place in the freshman competition and make a blockbuster success. In another villa, Zhang Churan's beautiful face was very gloomy. After being tortured by Zhong Ling, she made her vow to take revenge. An illegitimate child dared to do this to her. Simply unforgivable. He thinks that with Zhao Kailai, he will have nothing to worry about. Humph, behind me is the Tianqi Union. The Apocalypse Labor Union is the first of the 10 largest labor unions in Daxia, and a force that the federal government relies on. There are 4 martial saints in the meeting. As the vice president of the Apocalypse Guild's Demon University branch, if I can't even deal with him, there's no need to mess around. Picking up the phone, Zhang Churan pressed a number. Luo Fei, if you Luo family members enter the Demon University in the future, I will protect you, so don't worry. But you also have to do something for me. Do you know about my illegitimate brother Zhong Ling? Aunt Luo should have warned you already. There will be a freshman competition soon, and I will find a way to arrange for you to be in the same arena. When the time comes, you will target him together and make sure he is eliminated in the preliminary round. You can also win over other participants, and then I can promise them the opportunity to join the Apocalypse Union. Yes, I just want to suppress him. I want him to be unable to move even an inch in the Devil's Land. I want him to know that if he dares to betray the Zhang family, he will have no way out. In a blink of an eye, it was the day of the opening ceremony. The opening ceremony was very lively, not only with the performances of students, but also with the participation of some celebrities. The principal's speech was very impassioned, stating that the greater the ability, the greater the responsibility. He hoped that every student at the University of Magic would take it as their own responsibility to protect the human race until death. The second day of the opening ceremony is the day of the freshman competition. This annual event brings the whole school into high spirits. Zhong Ling's bracelet had already received news about which arena he was in at which time. Winning the first place in the freshman competition will bring a very good reward, so Zhong Ling doesn't want to miss it. Although he has a system, it does not mean that he does not need resources. Zhong Ling's preliminary round was on the 3rd day. In the first 2 days, he also came to several arenas to watch other people's matches. Because there were so many people in the preliminary round, it took the form of a knockout round. A total of 50 people entered a large arena and fought each other. The last 5 people standing on the stage advanced. This kind of big fight is very random and is not absolutely fair. The school uses this to tell students that there are many injustices in this world. You cannot let the world adapt to you. You can only adapt to the world and find a way forward in an unfair world. If you can't bear this unfairness, then you are not suitable to be a warrior. Every student who is able to enter Magic City University has something extraordinary, which can already be seen in the preliminary round. Each student was like the 8 immortals crossing the sea, each showing his or her own magical powers and creating many wonderful scenes. That's Jin Yichuan, the #1 scholar in Sichuan province. Hiss. He is really powerful. He strikes out at will and scares everyone. No one dares to attack him. The same goes for Shen Chong, the champion of Shonan province over there. He advanced almost by standing there. There are also Lin Haochen, the champion of southern Yunnan province, and Chu He, the champion of southwest province. And Lu Shengnan, the provincial #1 scholar from our local provincial capital, the Lu family. Lu Shengnan is so beautiful. This neat short hair has a unique charm. It's not comparable to those vulgar fans. Love it, love it. Zhang Ling originally wanted to see the strength of these provincial top picks, but unexpectedly, they didn't do anything. This made him a little disappointed. In this kind of chaos, the most important thing is not to defeat the enemy, but to protect oneself. So generally speaking, no one will just sit around and find trouble with the strongest person. Unless some people are unconvinced and have to fight with these provincial champions. The third day, finally it was Zhang Ling's turn to appear. The news of which arena Zhang Ling was in had spread throughout the campus in advance. Although Zhang Ling does not have the title of provincial champion, he has received more attention than the provincial champion. Everyone wants to see how talented the new student who has cracked the 36 steps of Tiangong is. Yi Honglian changed into a fiery red dress today, which made her hot figure even hotter. Walk, junior brother, let them see your strength today. Yi Honglian hugged Zhang Ling's arm without politeness and followed him to the ring. Ahem, senior sister, is there something wrong with this? Zhang Ling was a little embarrassed. What are you afraid of? But Yi Honglian didn't care at all. Elder sister is like mother, I am your senior sister, what's wrong with being close to you? Yi Honglian couldn't help but drag Zhang Ling to the ring. Zhang Ling could only smile helplessly. The arrival of Zhang Ling and Yi Honglian instantly attracted a lot of attention. He is Zhang Ling. Wow, Yi Honglian is so beautiful today. Yi Honglian is so close to Zhang Ling. Even for senior sister and junior brother, this is a bit too much. Does Yi Honglian want the old cow to eat young grass? On a balcony on the second floor, Zhang Churan watched the arrival of Zhang Ling and Yi Honglian, with a sneer on his lips. Zhang Ling, do you think you can do whatever you want if you have talent? There are too many geniuses who die young in this world. Without a family, who are you? Our Zhang family is an ancient imperial clan and is destined to be revived in this generation. The ancestors will return sooner or later. It will be your own loss if you leave the family. Next to Zhang Churan, a tall boy looked at Zhang Ling and Yi Honglian, took a sip of red wine, and said lightly, is he your brother? Yes, President. Zhang Churan nodded, I have 2 younger brothers. The other younger brother went to Kyoto University. News just came out that he won the first place in the freshman competition there. Oh, the president raised his eyebrows and said, your family is really powerful. So many geniuses appear in a row. This Zhang Ling looks good, he can be recruited into our union. I'm afraid this won't work for the time being. Zhang Churan shook his head, he is too rebellious, we need to polish him first. When he realizes that he can't live without our Zhang family and becomes obedient, then drag him in. He won't be so obedient now. Young people, it's inevitable to be rebellious. The president shook the red wine in his glass and narrowed his eyes slightly. Rebellion requires discipline. As a sister, you should be stricter. This is also for his own good. Yes, Zhang Churan nodded and said, I have already made arrangements. I used all kinds of inducements to attract all the geniuses below the provincial champion to this one, all of whom have at least A-level powers, to attack him together. So what if you are gifted? What if you can crack the 36 steps of Tiangong? If he can't even pass the preliminary round, he will understand that this world is not as simple as he imagined. He can rise to become a strong man by himself alone. Yeah, the president nodded, just go ahead and do it, I'll help you sort it out at the school. Thank you, President, Zhang Churan said happily. With this president as a guarantee, she can be unscrupulous no matter what she does in school. Yi Honglian, do you think you and your teacher can protect him? Go ahead, Come on. When it was time to go on stage, Yi Honglian let go of Zhongling's arm and let him go on stage. Zhongling nodded, jumped slightly, and entered the ring. At this time, the other students also came on stage one by one. Everyone's eyes were looking at Zhongling intentionally or unintentionally, with a hint of ill intention. Zhongling suddenly frowned slightly. What's going on? These people seem to be very hostile to me. When other provincial champions came to power, others were in awe and did not dare to fight with them. On the contrary, these people seemed to want to deal with me together. Gradually, these people seemed to move randomly, but they surrounded Zhongling in the middle, forming a circle of encirclement. Sure enough, you are coming for me. Who did it? Zhang Churan. HMPH, you want to use this method to suppress me. Zhongling looked up to the sky and stretched. The students watching in the audience also discovered something was wrong at this time. Why do they seem to have agreed to target Zhongling together? Yeah, it's strange. In the other knockout rounds, everyone avoided the provincial top picks, but today they are going to target Zhongling together. Who organized it? This is to suppress Zhongling. He can't even pass the preliminary round. Zhongling is indeed very strong. He has SSS level powers and has cracked the 36 steps of Tiangong. But facing the siege of everyone else, it will be difficult for him to stand out. 2 fists are no match for 4 hands. Every student who can enter Magic University is a genius among geniuses. You fool, you're actually doing this kind of conspiracy. Yi Honglian gritted her teeth and said angrily. The game begins. The referee teacher in charge of the game shouted expressionlessly. Whoosh! All the students on the stage took out their weapons, got into position, and pointed their spearheads at Zhongling. When Zhongling saw this, he was relaxed, without any sense of urgency of being besieged. He turned over his hand, took out his horizontal knife, and narrowed his eyes slightly. Since you have the consciousness to be lackeys, then I will let you know the consequences of being a lackey. Superior. At this time, Luo Fei from the Luo family in the crowd shouted loudly, and the shadow of a wind-blood wolf flashed behind him, holding a huge axe and slashing at Zhongling. When the others saw Luo Fei giving the order, they immediately released their own powers and rushed towards Zhongling with weapons. Good guy. Almost all of these people's abilities are A-level, and few are B-level. Who is targeting Zhongling? He must be killed in the preliminary round. Who did Zhongling offend? I'm afraid Zhongling is in danger. Some teachers who were watching were stunned when they saw this scene. They did not expect that such a scene would appear in the freshman competition. However, they didn't speak. Let the students resolve their own affairs. As long as no lives are lost, they will generally not interfere. Now it's clear that someone wants to suppress Zhongling, so it's up to Zhongling to solve it himself. Just like the original intention of holding a big battle, there is no fairness in this world. If you want to take the path of a warrior, you must get used to this unfairness and fight your way out of it. Zhongling looked at these people, a cold light flashed in his eyes, snorted coldly, used Tiangong for 36 steps, and instantly moved to a position that surprised everyone. Then, he swung his sword horizontally. Puff puff puff. The 3 students' clothes lit up with red elimination signs, and they were instantly killed by Zhongling. The 3 students were stunned for a while, and they could only withdraw from the ring out of infinite unwillingness. They were able to come to Modu University, and they were the geniuses of the local school, the top students among 10,000 people. However, they were instantly killed by Zhongling when they met in the arena. It was really a bit of a blow to their self-confidence. Luo Fei and others were slightly surprised when they saw this scene. Zhongling actually killed 3 students in one encounter, which was indeed a bit strong. However, no matter how strong he is, he can't defeat so many of us. Luo Fei shouted and struck Zhongling with the axe in his hand again. Zhongling used Tiangong for 36 steps, moved quickly, and looked like a ghost. In the blink of an eye, he jumped out of their encirclement. Puff puff puff. After several more consecutive blows, elimination signs lit up on the bodies of the 4 students. The 4 students were stunned for a while. They didn't see Zhongling's figure clearly, and they were eliminated. It was so frustrating. In fact, their strength is not weak, and their abilities are even stronger, but unfortunately, there is no room for them to be used. Zhong Ling's Tiangong 36 steps combined with the Sword Emperor's 9 slashes easily killed them. This shows that the gap between them and Zhong Ling is huge. Hiss. This Zhong Ling is a bit strong. In the blink of an eye, 7 people were killed in a row. Even the superpowers are useless. Is this the 36 steps of Tiangong? It is indeed an ancient step method to communicate with the gods. It is indeed magical and unpredictable. His sword skills are also very strong. Every time he strikes, the opponent is completely unable to dodge. Lu Shengnan couldn't help but shrink his pupils slightly when he saw Zhong Ling killing these 7 students easily and neatly. You are indeed extremely talented. I'm afraid I won't be able to kill 7 people instantly without using superpowers. It seems that those remarks about him on the internet should be true. Now it's interesting. With such an opponent, my trip to Shanghai University is not in vain. The faces of the other 4 provincial champions, Jin Yichuan, Shen Chong, Lin Haochen and Chu He, also showed solemn expressions. The so-called master will know whether there is something as soon as he makes a move. Zhong Ling's seemingly relaxed and comfortable steps and swings of the sword have demonstrated his super talent in martial arts. Originally, they didn't think much of Zhong Ling, the so-called number 1 scholar in the country, but now, they all paid attention to Zhong Ling. This will definitely be a formidable opponent. Yi Honglian showed a proud expression at this time. This junior brother of his was indeed a genius among geniuses. No wonder Master values him so much. Whoever has the power of control, trap him. Luo Fei saw Zhong Ling's strange footwork and shouted quickly. Look at me. A short and stocky student yelled, and suddenly stepped forward and slammed it on the ground. Suddenly, the ground surged, and a huge cage appeared, trapping Zhong Ling in it. Good. Luo Fei was overjoyed. Gather fire and attack. Beat. Suddenly, various elemental long-range attacks broke out one after another, and flames, frost, wind blades, etc. all covered the dungeon. Bang bang bang. The dungeon exploded, and Zhong Ling inside would definitely not be spared either. After a burst of smoke and dust, everyone looked forward to seeing Zhong Ling, who was eliminated or even seriously injured. However, Zhong Ling was not seen under the ruins of the dungeon. What's going on? Where has Zhong Ling gone? Weren't you killed by the concentrated fire attack just now? That shouldn't happen, right? Everyone was stunned. At this moment, suddenly, the ground cracked open, and a figure emerged from it. The sword flashed, and several students unnoticed it, and the elimination mark lit up again on their bodies. He went underground. You actually use this kind of fighting method. Some can't be put on the stage. It doesn't matter if he can get on the stage or not, as long as he can win. If you encounter an enemy in the wild and face a life or death battle, why don't you think about it? Come again. Luo Fei shouted. The stocky student smashed the ground again and built an earthen prison. But this time, Zhong Ling was on guard. Tiangong made a strange flash of 36 steps and arrived in front of the short and stocky student. Puff. The stocky student received the lunch box. For a moment, these students on the stage were all shocked. Zhong Ling's strength is really terrifying. At the beginning, they were asked to besiege Zhong Ling together, but they were a little dismissive. I think even if he is the top pick in the country, it would be a bit too bullying for all of them to attack him together. The results now prove that even though so many of them besieged it together, they still suffered defeat. Zhang Churan, who was watching the battle on the balcony, saw this scene, and a pair of beautiful eyes suddenly showed a sharp light. This guy is actually so strong. He is indeed a talent. The president said from the side, if the time is right, let's bring him to our union. It's the same as coming to the union and continuing to polish. But if we don't suppress him first, he won't give in and won't come to our union. Zhang Churan shook his head. Ha. Then, suppress even harder. The president shook the red wine glass and showed a look of control. In his eyes, Zhong Ling seemed to be an ant who could be played with at will. On the arena, the students all became serious and used various powers to defeat Zhong Ling. With so many of them working together, it would be a huge shame if they couldn't defeat Zhong Ling. Crown of Thorns. At this moment, a girl suddenly touched the ground with her hands, and then, several huge thorn vines stretched out, like giant pythons, winding towards Zhong Ling. Whoosh! Zhong Ling suddenly rushed over from the middle of several thorn vines. He was in front of the girl in an instant and slashed with his sword. Puff! This girl also received a lunch box. Zhang Ling's figure was like a ghost, moving back and forth, and the students on the stage could hardly catch his shadow. Sometimes, they saw the opportunity and attacked Zhang Ling together, but in the end they found that Zhang Ling had disappeared. Their attacks all hit their own bodies. Although they said they were attacking Zhang Ling together, they had not cooperated beforehand, so it was very confusing. Puff puff puff. Zhang Ling's sword kept cutting back and forth, and more than half of the students on the stage were lost in the blink of an eye. The remaining students were no match for Zhang Ling. Seeing that he was about to lose, Luo Fei became anxious. Once he loses, not only will it be embarrassing, but he will also be unable to complete the task assigned to him by Zhang Churan. Gritting his teeth, Luo Fei secretly took out a violent blood pill from the storage ring and swallowed it. The violent blood pill, as the name suggests, causes the blood and energy in the body to become violent, instantly increasing the strength several times. He wanted to give it a try and defeat Zhang Ling. Luo Fei's eyes turned blood red instantly after taking the blood pill. The Gale blood wolf behind him also swelled in size, let out an angry howl, and turned into blood. A violent force filled Luo Fei's body. All the blood vessels on Luo Fei's body bulged out, like small snakes wrapped around his arms, which was extremely terrifying. It is naturally against the rules to take the violent blood pill during the freshman competition. However, Luo Fei was not afraid. At most, he would be punished afterwards. And with Zhang Churan here, this punishment will be painless. Sure enough, the teacher in charge of the referee didn't react at all and just looked at him one more time. Zhang Ling, go to hell. Luo Fei, whose strength had doubled, was greatly confident. He roared and struck Zhang Ling with the huge axe in his hand. Coupled with the effect of the Gale blood wolf, his speed, strength, etc. were increased several times, and he was in front of Zhang Ling in an instant. He believed that this blow would definitely inflict heavy damage on Zhang Ling. A sinister smile appeared on his face. Zhang Ling saw Luo Fei's sudden increase in strength and knew that he must have used some illegal means. However, he didn't take it seriously. He just chuckled and slashed at Luo Fei with the horizontal knife in his hand without dodging. Luo Fei was overjoyed when he saw that Zhang Ling didn't dodge and dared to fight him. Now, Zhang Ling was dead. He had taken the violent blood pill, and his weapon was an axe, a heavy weapon, with the strength bonus of the Gale blood wolf. How to block Zhang Ling? Bang! There was a muffled sound, and the weapons of both sides collided. However, Zhang Ling was not blown away as Luo Fei thought, but standing there, motionless. On the contrary, Luo Fei was bombarded by a huge force and couldn't help but take 4 or 5 steps back. What? Luo Fei was shocked. His eyes widened with disbelief. How is this possible? I took the blood pill and was blessed with the power of the Gale blood wolf. How could I not be as powerful as him? This scene made many viewers look shocked. They could all see that Luo Fei had taken the blood pill. Logically speaking, Luo Fei's strength must have doubled after taking the blood pill, and Zhang Ling would be absolutely unstoppable without using his powers. As a result, Zhang Ling was able to block it all with just the strength of his physical body. Also beat Luo Fei back 4 or 5 steps. What kind of monster is he? Zhang Ling exhaled softly at this time, as if a river was rushing in his mouth, and 2 small white snakes were swimming back and forth in his nose. It is the effect of Xuanwu breathing method. Zhang Ling had the top quality qi and blood pill issued by the school, and combined with his incredible understanding, the Xuanwu breathing technique had already reached the 20th level. This breathing exercise method gave him a huge increase in energy, blood and strength. Coupled with the tenfold amplification effect of the Chaos Holy Body, even if he doesn't use his power is stronger than that of Luo Fei who took the violent blood pill. Want to target me? Just you. Zhang Ling spoke leisurely. Not worthy yet. You. Luo Fei was so angry that he almost vomited blood. You, take the blood pill together and kill him no matter what today. Luo Fei shouted to several other disciples of the Luo family. He wanted to defeat Zhang Ling at all costs today. Hearing this, several other children of the Luo family also took out the violent blood pill from the storage ring, drank it, and then they attacked Zhang Ling together. The Luo family's bloodline mainly has the enhanced superpowers of beasts. Suddenly, the sounds of wolves and tigers roared, and they opened their bloody mouths and pounced on Zhongling. Hee hee. At this level, what if you take the blood pill? Zhongling curled her lips contemptuously, and a glimmer of light flashed in her eyes. Let me show you what true martial arts is. Swish, swish, swish. Zhongling's figure suddenly moved quickly on the ring, and for a moment, the entire ring was covered with his shadow. Puff puff puff. One by one, the elimination signs continued to light up on their bodies. This is too fast. Is this the 36 steps of Tiangong? Impossible to resist. Zhongling has shown his true strength. Real strength. He hasn't used his powers yet. You know, he has SSS level powers. Luo Fei and others suddenly became frightened. They widened their eyes and tried to locate Zhongling, but in vain. I can only watch helplessly as the remaining students are eliminated one by one. In the blink of an eye, they were the only children of the Luo family left in the arena. Now, it's over. Zhongling's voice sounded ethereal in their ears. The next moment, puff puff puff, all of them had signs of elimination on their bodies. Win. Zhongling really won. One man versus 49 others. I actually won. This level of strength is simply unprecedented. Don't forget, he doesn't even use powers. Hiss. One person defeated 49 other people without using any superpowers. This is simply evil. I really want to see what it looks like when he activates his powers. The audience under the ring burst into cheers and exclamations. Lu Shengnan and the other 4 provincial champions clenched their fists and stared at Zhongling without saying a word for a long time. At first, they thought that Zhongling was just a little better than them, or just a little luckier. That's why we achieved that result. Now it seems that there is a big gap between them and Zhongling. On the balcony, Zhang Churan also opened his mouth wide, his beautiful eyes filled with incredible color. Luo Fei and the others took the violent blood pill, but they were still defeated. Moreover, Zhongling didn't even use his superpower. This kid is really interesting. The president's eyes lit up. I want to make a decision on this person. Many teachers watching the battle were itching in their hearts at this moment. What a pity, Zhao Kailai got the first step. Otherwise, such a student must be accepted as a disciple. The future is simply unlimited. The preliminary round is over. Zhongling lightly jumped down from the ring. Yi Honglian immediately stepped forward and hugged Zhongling's arm, as if she was afraid that he would run away. Yi Honglian's eyes were already shaped like crescents when she smiled. This junior brother of hers was so awesome. Zhongling and Yi Honglian walked towards the villa. Just halfway, they found 2 figures blocking their way. It was Zhang Churan and the president. Classmate Zhongling, can we talk? The president, who was well dressed and had a noble temperament, had a faint smile on his handsome face. I would like to invite you to join our Apocalypse Union. Wang Fu Hao, what do you want to do? Yi Honglian immediately took a step forward and looked at this handsome man coldly. Yi Honglian, this has nothing to do with you. Wang Fu Hao completely dismissed Yi Honglian and continued to look at Zhongling and said, I don't often make invitations like this myself. I hope you can cherish this opportunity. Sorry, I'm not interested. Zhongling looked at Wang Fu Hao and decisively refused. Seeing that Wang Fu Hao came with Zhang Churan, Zhongling knew that they were in the same boat. It was naturally impossible for Zhongling to agree to the other party's request. You really refused. Wang Fu Hao showed a somewhat coquettish smile. Do you know what happens to those who reject me? I'm not interested in knowing. Zhongling said indifferently, pulling Yi Honglian to leave. You really have a lot of personality. Wang Fu Hao's smile became even stronger. This is a common problem among geniuses. But there is a price to pay. Young people are always fearless. Zhongling, it's too late for you to apologize to the president now. Zhang Churan said coldly from the side. Otherwise, you will regret what you said today. Who are you trying to scare? Yi Honglian raised her chin high and said, don't you think our teacher Zhao Kailai is just a decoration? Do you think Zhao Kailai can protect you? Innocent. Zhang Churan said disdainfully. If you offend the Tianqi Union, you will have no way to go to heaven and no way to enter the earth. Then try it. Zhongling snorted and looked at Zhang Churan. Zhang Churan, you'd better remember that I have nothing to do with the Zhang family anymore. Don't cause trouble for me again, otherwise don't blame me for being rude. After saying that, Zhongling took Yi Honglian and left. It's really interesting. After Zhang Ling and Yi Honglian left, Wang Fuhao's eyes narrowed slightly, and the corners of his mouth curved slightly into a nice curve. In that case, let him see the consequences of disobeying me. President, considering that he is my brother, please spare his life. Zhang Churan pleaded. He is very rebellious now and needs discipline. I will discipline him well and let him join our Apocalypse Union. I'm afraid you don't have the ability to discipline him. Wang Fuhao said quietly, I'll discipline him for you. Don't worry, I won't take his life easily. But punishment is necessary. The reason why he is so rebellious has a lot to do with your soft-heartedness. Since ancient times, loving mothers often lose their sons. Thank you, President, for helping our Zhang family discipline Zhang Ling. Facing Wang Fuhao, Zhang Churan didn't dare to disobey him at all, and asking for Zhang Ling's favor was the limit. As the vice president, she knows the horror of this president best. Since Wang Fuhao said so, Zhang Ling will be in trouble this time. I gave you a chance, but you didn't take it. Now I can't help you. Zhang Churan shook his head. Zhang Ling, you still have to be careful about this Apocalypse Union in the future. Back in the villa, Yi Honglian said to Zhang Ling seriously. Oh, Zhang Ling raised her eyebrows. Is this Apocalypse Guild awesome? Yes, Yi Honglian nodded and said. The Tianqi Trade Union is the first of the 10 largest trade unions in Daxia, and it is very powerful. There are 4 9th-level martial saints in their union. It can be said that they are the most powerful force besides the Daxia military. This Wang Fuhao is the branch president of the Tianqi Trade Union at the Demon City University, and he is also a direct descendant of the Wangfu family, one of the 4 great families. In school, you can say that you can cover the sky with one hand. I understand, senior sister. Zhang Ling nodded, but it's not that easy for him to deal with me. After the preliminary round of the freshman competition, there is the knockout round. The knockout rounds are all one-on-one battles, with promotions going up 1 level at a time. When it was Zhang Ling's turn to play, his opponent didn't even play and abstained on the spot. After watching Zhang Ling's preliminary match yesterday, who still has the courage to go on stage to fight Zhang Ling? If you go up there, you'll get beaten up, so why bother? This was the case for the next few knockout matches. As soon as Zhang Ling came on stage, the opponent abstained and advanced smoothly. Seeing this situation, the students felt bored and turned their attention to the top scorers from other provinces. The performance of these 5 provincial top picks was indeed very impressive, showing their strong martial arts talents and abilities. They advanced easily in every game, letting the entire school know their strength. Especially Lu Shengnan, who beat other players to despair. Before entering the semi-finals, Shen Chong and Jin Yichuan met and the 2 of them fought, and the fight was inseparable. After fighting for more than an hour, Shen Chong finally narrowly defeated Jin Yichuan. Afterwards, Lin Haochen and Chu He also met in advance and had a big battle. In the end, Chu He won with difficulty. And Zhang Ling, because of the draw, did not meet them and easily reached the semi-finals. The semi-finalists are Shen Chong, Chu He, Lu Shengnan and Zhang Ling. Drawing lots again, Zhang Ling drew Chu He. This game attracted the attention of a large number of students. They wanted to see what kind of collision could break out between Chu He and Zhang Ling. Zhang Ling, come on. Let me see your full strength. Chu He was tall, standing on the ring, holding a thick copper stick in his hand, and said to Zhang Ling with high fighting spirit. Good. Zhang Ling nodded. He is also willing to fight fairly against such a person who participates in the competition justly. Roar. Behind Chu He, a huge ape silhouette suddenly burst out, its power soaring into the sky. This is Chu He's enhanced power, the SS-level Titan Ape. The Titan Ape actually held a big stick in his hand, standing behind Chu He, complimenting him, and a boundless bloodthirsty killing aura burst out. Some students who were close were so frightened by the power of the Titan Ape that they couldn't help but take a few steps back. So strong. This Chu He's power is several times stronger than the last battle with Lin Haochen. It's really incredible. This means that the more you fight, the stronger you become. Facing stronger opponents can stimulate more potential in yourself. This Chu He is extraordinary. Today, we can see Zhang Ling unleash his full strength. This will definitely be an exciting competition. Zhang Ling took a deep breath, and the blue thunder on his body began to emerge. Click. An aura of destruction filled the entire place. Zhongling used his superpower. Is this the SSS level super powerful world-destroying divine thunder? Sure enough, from such a distance, you can feel the aura that destroys everything. Roar. Chuhei's titan giant ape seemed to feel the power of Zhongling's world-destroying divine thunder, and let out an angry roar in the sky, and his eyes turned blood red. Zhongling, give me a stick. Chuhei roared, suddenly raised the copper stick high, jumped up high, and struck Zhongling down like an ancient fierce god. The entire arena started shaking at this moment. What a powerful force. This Chuhei is worthy of being the provincial champion. This talent, this strength, and this ability are really too strong. Can Zhongling resist? Disaster. Zhongling is not a power-enhancing superpower. If he confronts Chuhei head-on, he will definitely suffer a loss. Zhongling, who was on the stage, faced the overwhelming attack of Chuhei, the giant ape. He took a deep breath, his whole body exploded with thunder, and he went straight forward without dodging. Rumble. Zhongling's world-destroying divine thunder gathered together and attached to Heng Dao, forming a huge lightning beam that collided with Chuhei's huge copper rod. Zhongling actually chose to fight head-on. Isn't he using his own shortcomings to attack the strengths of others? The students watching the battle were all surprised. Zhongling actually chose this thankless style of play. Does he have enough confidence in himself? Boom. The sky-wide divine thunder collided with Chuhei's huge copper rod, and a shocking explosion broke out. The entire arena was almost blown to pieces. In the endless explosion of lightning, Chuhei's body suddenly flew back and flew out of the ring. Zhongling also retreated, but at the last moment he stood on the edge of the ring. One move determines the outcome. I'm going. In a head-to-head confrontation, Zhongling actually won. Zhongling is too strong. Chuhei, who fell under the ring, stared blankly at Zhongling on the stage. After a long time, he shouted, I lost. In a head-to-head duel, he was defeated by Zhongling, and he lost without any complaints. Not far away, Lu Shengnan watched this scene, her beautiful eyes flashing continuously, showing her restless heart. Zhongling's strength was stronger than she imagined. After Zhongling and Chuhei finished fighting, it was Lu Shengnan and Shen Chong. Lu Shengnan's SSS level power is the ancient mythical beast White Tiger, facing Shen Chong's SS level power Blood Moon Scimitar. The Blood Moon Scimitar is strange and unpredictable, with fast attacks, spiritual attacks, and hallucinogenic effects. However, when Lu Shengnan's White Tiger roared, all these effects were shattered. Lu Shengnan's weapon was a huge sword, and she danced it so fiercely that Shen Chong couldn't get close at all and could only passively dodge. The two sides kept fighting for more than 10 minutes. Finally, Lu Shengnan seized an opportunity and knocked Shen Chong off the ring with a sword. Lu Shengnan advanced. The next finals are Zhongling and Lu Shengnan. The showdown between two SSS level students made the students extremely excited. This is an unprecedented event for many years. Who will be better? Many students even stayed up all night because they were so excited. As the person involved, Zhongling slept very soundly. After breakfast the next day, she and Yi Honglian came to the competition venue. He is also looking forward to fighting another SSS level warrior to see how big the gap is. Lu Shengnan's expression was also very calm, and there was no big fluctuation on his face. The referee teacher announced the start of the game, and Zhongling and Lu Shengnan went on stage together. Lu Shengnan's neat short hair, coupled with her delicate face and strong and slender figure, make her look dashing and heroic, full of neutral charm. Many people in the audience were shouting, "This Lu Shengnan is so beautiful." Unlike ordinary girls who are charming and enchanting, Lu Shengnan has a completely different style, full of fatal temptations for boys. Many people have ideas that they want to pursue. But after learning that Lu Shengnan was a descendant of the Lu family, they all gave up the idea. SSS level talent, and being a descendant of the Lu family, what kind of talent does it take to be worthy of it? Start. With the referee's shout, the game officially started. Zhongling took out his horizontal sword, and Lu Shengnan took out his giant sword. Lu Shengnan's giant sword was taller than her, but she was able to lift it with ease. Behind her, the phantom of the mythical beast White Tiger gradually emerged. Coupled with her astonishing beauty, there was a sense of déjà vu between beauty and beast. It added to her charm. On Zhongling's body, the world-destroying divine thunder also began to flash, and the aura of destruction was released, colliding with the white tiger shadow behind Lu Shengnan, and a ball of brilliant sparks exploded in the air. Roar! The white tiger behind Lu Shengnan seemed to be a psychic, feeling the aura of the world-destroying divine thunder, and actually let out a roar of his own accord, condescendingly, as if he wanted to devour Zhongling. It is indeed an SSS-level divine beast. The two people faced off for about a minute, and suddenly they rushed towards each other. Boom boom boom. The two people fought countless times in an instant. The powerful forces converged and a shocking explosion broke out. Hiss. Is this really a new student? Even a sophomore or junior would be hard-pressed to make such a big noise, right? He is truly worthy of being a proud son of SSS level. Zhongling brandished his horizontal sword and moved his body continuously with the 36 steps of Tiangong under his feet, attacking Lu Shengnan from all directions. However, Lu Shengnan actually blocked it with her giant sword. Along the way, Zhongling met many powerful people, but this was the first time for him like Lu Shengnan. Lu Shengnan not only has powerful powers, but also adds super strength, agility and other attributes to her. At the same time, Lu Shengnan's martial arts skills were also very exquisite. Although Zhongling is also very powerful, there is still a gap between Zhongling and Lu Shengnan in terms of training, martial arts, etc. Lu Shengnan was born in a martial arts family since he was a child. He has been trained by martial arts masters since he could walk. This is something Zhongling does not possess. Although the Zhong family is also a martial arts family, the Zhong family has never invested any resources in him. Therefore, Zhongling and Lu Shengnan were at odds with each other at first. However, the talent brought by Zhongling's chaos holy body was quickly stimulated. The effect of getting stronger as he fought made his will to fight more and more high, and his incredible understanding allowed him to quickly understand and gain insight into Lu Shengnan's martial arts. Coupled with the strangeness and unpredictability of Tiangong's 36 steps, Zhongling quickly gained the upper hand. Zhongling's figure seemed to have transformed into countless figures, and they were everywhere in the arena. There were heavy shadows of knives, bursts of thunder, and lightning, completely surrounding Lu Shengnan. Roar! The phantom of the white tiger behind Lu Shengnan became furious and roared, causing Zhongling's energy and blood to surge all over his body and he almost fell to the ground. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Lu Shengnan quickly counterattacked. Zhongling took a deep breath and slashed hard with the horizontal knife in his hand. Wind and thunder slash. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.